And we are here. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party is a pretty cool Discord thing. There's a link in the chat for you guys to join. Please join it. A lot of neat people playing a lot of neat games. And speaking of neat people playing neat games, we are going to play a very neat game today known as Honey Heist. And it is ridiculous and nonsensical. So if you're here for something serious and emotion-driven, leave. It's not for you. But if you want fun, here we are. So let's meet our players. I think we're going to have one more a little bit later, but for right now, let's meet our players that we have now. Michi, would you like to go first?
Hi, I am Michi at Michisaurus on Twitter. You can find me at Michisaurus pretty much everywhere. I'm also a mod in the Discord, so.
Okay, very cool. Kevin, would you like to go?
Yes. Hi, I'm Kevin Myers. I'm Jim DeBison on Twitter, and I'm normally this pretty.
Nice. There you go.
Oh, God damn it.
Jane, would you like to go?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Jane, or Cellardor10, on Discord and also on Twitter, and I'm very excited to play a bear.
Very good. Very good. And Nerdy.
Hey, I'm Nerdy Teddy. You can find me on Twitter at Nerdy Teddy. And excited for a different kind of heist tonight.
Yeah. Different than our leverage game.
So I don't have to make up a bunch of crimes?
No, you are the crime in this one. You're the only crime. You're the sweetest crime of all, honey heisting. And I am Evan. I am. I recently learned that my handle on Twitter is actually Evan Jennings 64 on Twitter. I don't know how Twitter works. I put my little name at the top, which is Zombie Love Juice, but that's not right because some person is apparently pretending to be me or something. I don't know, but either way, I'm Evan Jennings 64 on Twitter.
I think my favorite part about that is that it sounds like a really vintage screen name, but Twitter was invented in 2008 or something. So that was not the period of the N64. You have no excuse.
No, absolutely none. Nope. So yeah, and I will be your BM for tonight, your Bear Master, or your HM, your Honey Master. But I don't like that one. God, it sounds gross. Every time I say it, it sounds uncomfortable.
Whale.
So let's. What'd you say?
I'm just. That was the only time I've ever sang that.
Yeah, it's fine. That's the only time you should say it. Never say it again. So let's jump into it, shall we? Now, first of all, before we get into the game setting, we should all create our bears, and here's how you do it. You simply roll a d6. And after you roll that d6, you look on your little sheet, your handy-dandy sheet, and from 1 to 6, it should name what kind of bear you are. So I'd like everybody to roll a d6 and tell me what kind of bear you are. If you have a specific kind of bear in mind, just pick that one, because I really don't care. And it really doesn't matter. What's your
I'm
bear?
a panda.
You're a panda? Okay, very good, very good. So your special is eat anything that looks like bamboo.
Oh,
So
I'm
that's
so
your very
excited.
special power.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Super special. Definitely not like me in real life.
Okay, that's you're just eating pencils all the time.
Yeah.
Michi, what is yours?
I got Honey Badger.
Nice. All right.
You don't care.
Your special as a honey badger is carnage. So enjoy that, because that's very good for you. Nerdy?
I got Grizzly.
Grizzly bear. All right. So your special is to terrify, so you can just scare the shit out of people. And Kevin?
Polar bear.
Polar bear.
Wait,
So
we're all different. That's awesome.
your special is swim, which actually you could come in handy this session, which I don't think ever comes in handy ever, but it could come in handy today.
It could be
We'll
some
see.
balls. You never know.
So now that you rolled your bear, next I want you to roll what kind of personality you have. 1 to 6, boom. Hit it, and we decide what kind of person are you? What kind of bear are you? You know what
Does
I mean?
this mean that
On the
my
inside.
favorite rapper is Designer because he did the Panda song?
I don't know that
I'm just gonna
song.
pick retired.
It's literally just Panda, Panda.
You
Panda,
just
Panda, like that's the song.
I don't.
Over
That's
a beat.
perfectly fine. You can have that song, but no one in the town will like you. Myers, you're gonna pick retired.
I'm gonna pick retired.
All right, Myers called retired, so if anybody else got retired, you can't have it. Michi, what'd you get?
Got unhinged.
Unhinged. Okay, so you are a fucking psychotic honey badger. So you are a little unbalanced. You're a little off. And yeah, so you play with that however you want. Jane, what are you?
I'm incompetent.
Yes. Good.
Well, I'm glad
Okay.
that I ended up being Chris Hemsworth anyway.
You're
I
Chris
wasn't
Hemsworth,
necessarily
the
aiming for
panda.
that, but
That's good.
Chris
That's good.
Hemsworth, the incompetent panda.
Yeah, just rolls right off the tongue.
I got Slick.
Slick, nice. All right. You're a criminal. Remember, you're all criminals, so however you can match that. And last but not least, last on the character creation, nice and quick, is what your role is. This is a heist. What is your job in this heist? What do you bring to the table? Roll 1 to 6.
No.
What was it, Jane? Go ahead and read it.
I got thief.
So you are an incompetent panda thief.
So I'm like Bilbo Baggins at the beginning of the
Yeah. Pretty much. That's good. That's excellent. And Kevin, what did you get for role?
Hacker.
Hacker? Nice. Okay.
Just a retired hacker.
The best kind of job for a bear.
What's a
An
bear's
old man.
hack?
The computers. Duh. What else would you have?
I didn't know they
Nerdy?
learned them.
Nerdy, what are you today?
Muscle.
Nice. Okay. The grizzly. You got terrify. You're strong. Good. And Michi, what are you?
Driver.
So you can't reach the pedals. You're too slow. Okay. So you can drive. You will never be able to see over the thing of the car. So this works very good.
Wait.
You
What is
use
it in,
you just sort of feel the road, like you know where to go.
in Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Is it weasels that are like driving in the and it goes very poorly? They're like
I would imagine. I don't think they're good drivers. I don't know that though for sure, and we should test it scientifically, prove whether they are or not.
this is already amazing.
Okay, so then excellent. So you guys all have your bears. I hope you marked what you are because I'm not going to remember.
Guys, we don't have a brains or a face.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
This is good. This is what I want. This is what we need. So, and one of you is incompetent, and it's your thief, and you're here to steal. So this is gonna be great. Don't worry, your
Everything's
driver.
going super well. It's fine. Everything's fine.
But don't worry, your driver is unhinged. So this is gonna be fantastic. So the rest of it we'll just kind of do as we move along. So let's start with the setting of our little adventure here. This is called the Holiday Honey Heist. A Merry Berry Christmas, I believe was our second title. Now, setting. The annual Himalaya Hemlet Honey Festival is happening in the small town of Himalaya Hemlet. There will be shows, games, prizes, and lots of honey. However, you didn't come here for just any honey. You came here for the mother lode, the job to end all jobs. You came for the Himalaya Hemlet Honey Hoard. The hoard's location is a secret, known only to the mayor herself. Find out the location, steal the honey, and get out. Simple. Now, Himalaya Hemlet is a quiet town nestled high in the mysterious mountains of New Jersey. It is night and has recently snowed, so the whole town is covered in a thin blanket of soft, glistening white. Smoke rises from the chimneys of cozy-looking homes and businesses, and the townsfolk are all bundled from the cold. The sounds of music and laughter can be heard coming from the main street, where a grand fair is underway, the annual Himalaya Holiday Honey Festival. But outside the town, there's a quiet. Lake Dekinisip, on the border of town, is frozen over, but not yet safe enough for ice skaters. And the woods surrounding the town are silent, as most creatures have begun to migrate or hibernate. But something stirs in the brush. A bear emerges. Nerdy, would you like to describe to us kind of what you look like? If there's any sort of distinguishing characteristics to you besides being just a large grizzly bear?
Oh boy.
There doesn't have to be. You could just be a large grizzly bear if you'd like.
Yeah, I think I'm just a large grizzly
Okay.
bear.
So you see emerge just a large grizzly bear, just kind of popping out, staring at the town. From the brush emerges another bear. Jane, would you like to describe yourself? If there's anything special.
Am I still muted?
Nope.
Okay. So I big dopey looking panda, like, you know, they have the like black marks on their eyes. These black marks look especially dopey.
Gotcha.
Which is
okay.
impressive because I feel like pandas just sort of look dopey. I have like some kind of like, it's probably not actually bamboo, but like something that I'm chewing on.
Like a cool toothpick kinda?
Yeah,
or more
but long,
like
a long, like grass, like a long
like in the
grass.
country how they chew the
Exactly.
wheatgrass. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So you come out and stand next to Nerdy there, and Michi. Anything interesting about your honey badger? As scurrying through the brush comes a much smaller bear creature, honey badger. And do you have anything distinguishing about your character to set you apart from every other honey badger?
You know, the fur around this particular honey badger's head is just kind of like much larger, very poofy.
Do you have an afro? Do you have a fro?
No, but she would like to speak to your manager.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So her hair is sassy. Like,
Yeah,
just by looking at her hair, it's set. Gotcha. Understood.
Wait, so is it like a suburban white lady? Like
Yes.
nice layers,
Yes.
little flip on the bottom?
Yes.
That's good. And Kevin?
You just see like one lump in the snow, just like fall off of me as I roll over.
Were you sleeping?
Yeah. And you see a polar bear, with a huge tooth, like a huge gap in his front teeth, who looks a lot like Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine, but as a bear, as a polar bear. That's
I'm-
good.
I'm considering if it's funnier if I'm just actually Ernest Borgnine in a bear costume.
Or we'll leave
Yet
that.
to
We'll
be
leave that to
determined,
the
like,
interpretation of the
Who
audience.
knows what's under there?
Is he
They have
Ernest
a lot of
Borgnine?
fur.
We don't know.
We don't want to
That's
know.
Fine. Now, do you all know each other, or do you want to be perfect strangers?
You brought me back for one last job? Again?
Okay.
Well, you know,
Okay.
some of the ones we've done haven't really gone well.
It's not my fault.
So.
Don't blame me.
Yeah, sure.
No.
So, I hear there's some honey and that the lakes are frozen, so we should probably just walk over.
Right?
Right?
Freezing my damn lakes.
Freezing your damn legs.
Cold out
Do-
here.
So you all wish to swim across the lake to get to the town, or walk across the lake to get to the town? It is frozen.
It's super frozen. It's definitely frozen enough for me to sneak across. I'm sure of it.
Okay, you are the thief. So
I know a
would you
lot.
would you like to test the density of the ice by trying to sneak across? Okay, so here's what I want you to do: is you have your d6. So
Yeah.
you roll 1d6 because of your job, but your speciality doesn't come into play. So just roll 1d6 and tell me what you get.
4.
4. Okay, so
I think that's bad in this case.
yeah. So the way that it works is every time you go to do something, it needs to be equal to or under your bear or criminal stat. Now this would be a criminal because you're
Yeah.
sneaky, you know, and you always start at 3 on each. So if you guys want to mark down 3 bear, 3 criminal, and every time you do something or fail, I'll tell you when you move those points around. So as you go to attempt to sneak across, you go in there. You're doing pretty good. You're getting across most of the ice. You hear,
I'm super good at this.
and you're not worried, and you keep going, and then you hear something something catches your eyes. You hear like, and you look down, and there's something massive that moved under the ice, and you go, and you kind of take a step back, and your foot goes through, and then you go through, and you're half in the freezing water, and then you're starting to slip down there. If only you could swim well, but you kind of can't, and you're kicking your stubby little legs and absolutely panicking.
Okay, that's enough.
Help!
Okay, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna grab Chris Bearsworth by the scruff. I'm just gonna reach in there and.
Okay, all right. You grab by the scruff of the back of the neck, which cats have, so I assume bears have them too. They're
They're so related.
very similar creatures. So
Very similar.
You
God.
you begin to pull her out, and you were. I forgot about your goddamn names. What are your stupid names?
Chris Bearsworth.
So Chris
Competent.
Bearsworth gets pulled out of the ice, soaking wet and freezing. But you got some heft to it.
9.
You were saved by what is your name?
Ursinus Berg 9.
Ursinus. So your good friend and ex I guess colleague, compatriot, whatever, comrade in crime.
Thank you.
Ursinus Berg 9 has pulled you out. So the lake looks not super good to walk across, or a good way to get around. You might need to go around it.
What if we slid across? Do you think that would be better?
No.
Right on you.
You always think you're the ice expert.
Well, yes.
Fine, let's go back to the group. Whatever.
All right,
For pulling me
All
out
right,
of there. That was
So Chris and Ursinus, you guys head back to the edge, wet and defeated by this lake that has done nothing. And awaiting for you was what were your guys' names?
Baroness?
Baroness? Like bear? Okay, I like that. Baroness.
Like the idea of villainous.
Okay, and Michi, what was your bear name?
Karen.
What was your name? Karen?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so we have Ursinus, we have Chris Bearsworth, and we have Baroness, and we have fucking Karen.
Also Karen.
I love this. All right, excellent. So that didn't seem to work out super well. The lake was a no-go. Lake
Karen the unhinged honey badger.
Lake Dikinnisip, which is spelled capital D-K-I-N-N-Y, next word capital S-I-P. If you figure that out, did not work. So you start to go around towards the town. You can see the town up ahead. Like it's pretty close. Yes? Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. So as you guys start making your way around, you get closer to the edge of town. You can hear the sounds of the festival. You can hear the sounds of people and music and laughing. You can also smell in the crisp winter air the smell of baked goods and honey. Definitely lots of honey. Oh, it's thick in the air tonight. And you know you're on the right track. And as you're making your way through the woods, you hear a shuffling in some of the bushes, not far off. You don't need to go and investigate. You could just make your way to the town, and you could probably just sort of get by it easily. But you do hear like a in the bushes, a little off the trail, a little bit. Would you like to investigate or continue towards the town?
I'm a fighter.
Okay, you're going to fight it?
What is that? We should sneak up to it.
Karen has already started to haul ass towards it. Karen, I would like you to roll 1d6 and then a second d6 because of your carnage, which helps.
That's a really good sneak, Karen. Good job.
So that's a 3 and a 1.
So as you guys hear this, you all sort of notice it and take a brief pause. Karen perks one ear up and just hauls ass towards the bushes, just like claws out. Immediately wants to kill whatever it is, jumps into the bushes. Now, are you mauling to, eliminate and subdue, or are you just mauling to hurt a little bit and scare him off?
Subdue.
Okay. So she jumps in the bushes, and you just hear, and as a man comes slamming out of the bushes, it looks like a scraggly old homeless, but very small, can. He goes, oh, sweet Lord, and pulls back into the bushes as you just see scratches all over his face. He gets thrown out of the bushes, slammed to a tree, and lands onto the ground. And he,
Well, that didn't take long.
But he gets back up. He's like, okay. And he's like, oh, I get it. Y'all wearing different skins this time. Y'all come to me wearing different skins. I see. Well, it's just about 9 o'clock. Is it time for the probing? And he's looking to the sky. Where's your ship at?
I think we should. I don't.
I point to the lake.
Is your ship in the Kinnisip Lake? Is that where it is?
I assume that us talking to him is like rah, 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 right?
Oh yeah, you can't speak people.
Okay.
Now here's the thing: is you can kind of mumble. I think right here it says somewhere you can kind of mumble human speech through your bare mouth, maybe. So you can absolutely give it a shot if you'd like to express like a couple of words to him, but you'd never be able to give him like a sentence. But if you want to do like one word answer,
I just want to look over at him and like not fully grasp how language works and attempt to say something like, "What are you doing here?" But instead, it's just like, rah, rah! This angry panda.
Oh, I get it. And he just starts screaming back to you, still bleeding pretty profusely from his face and body. From the scratches, as Karen, you emerge licking the blood off your claws and look, and here he is. Usually the things that you maul either stay down or run away. This is a little strange. He seems to not understand.
I just put my paw on my snout, like, ugh.
I'm gonna walk up and poke him and just, who are you?
Oh, so you go and poke him and go, ooh. And he goes, oh, I think I heard you try to mimic my people speak. Well, you know me, I'm Old Man Dingle. And, well, if you're not the other worlders, then who are you? And he pokes you on your chest. Ooh! And then he starts just like rubbing your shoulders and shit because you're so fuzzy. You're like a shag carpet in people form. What a mystical, magical creature you are. It's almost like you're some kind of bear. But that can't be. Because this is New Jersey and you look like a grizzly bear.
I'm gonna stand up to my full height and just let out a growl.
So he's probably like I don't know, just 5 foot, like flat. So you stand up, and I think a grizzly bear is like 7 or 8 feet tall, like normally. So you just stand up, and he just, oh sweet Lord! And if you'd like to scare him, then roll 2d6 and tell me the lowest number. I think that's what we're supposed to do.
1.
You got it. Did you get another number that was lower than 6?
A 1 and a 2.
That's 2 successes. So you super duper got it. So you stand up. He stares at you, and he goes, So no probing in the stars then? And he just and hauls ass into the, you know what? He hauls ass into the lake. He goes running across the lake. And
no, it's not.
Across,
it's not frozen.
Let him go. Let him go.
Across the ice he goes, and he reaches the other side because he's got nimble little dingle feet.
What?
That's Old Man Dingle.
Did we just go in the wrong part of the lake?
No, he's just like 15 pounds.
I think pandas average around like 500 or 300 pounds.
That seems reasonable.
His crazy keeps him afloat.
That's true.
Oh, is that how you float?
I just walk away.
I thought you were talking
Wait,
to Karen at that
does
point.
that mean Karen floats real well too?
Oh, Karen's got rage.
Oh. Well, what do I have?
Ooh.
I just walk away.
I assume you just keep following Ernest or Ursinus Borgnine as you guys start heading back towards closer to town. So, with that interaction out of the way, you are now definitely close enough to see and hear all the festival.
Oh no.
The Himalaya Hamlet Holiday Honey Festival takes place on Main Street and takes up the entire street, running from the entrance of town right up to the city hall on the opposite end. It's not a large town, so the street is kind of small, but it's packed, bustling with people. Basically, most of the town is here. You see streamers of red, green, and gold stretching from building to building, crisscrossing above the street. There are stalls and tables set up with food, games, and souvenirs. Just across the street from the town bank, there's a large stage with a group of children singing Christmas carols with proud parents looking on, and one very disgruntled man looking on. In front of the abandoned Miller house is a small car show of sorts with beautiful cars on display. In the center of the street is a massive, elaborately decorated pine tree, glittering with, basically a Christmas tree, glittering with lights and shiny ornaments. At the foot of the tree sits a Santa impersonator taking pictures with children and laughing merrily. So that's the basic gist, the layout of the world. Hello.
Yay!
And we will. Don't worry, you're not late. We just got to town, so you're fine. And as you guys look upon this town with all the things that I mentioned that I can reiterate in different ways to you, Miss. You look at the town, kind of planning what you're gonna do next. When you hear, hey, shoo, get the hell out of get the hell out of here, and you see another bear come hauling ass out of the town and joining you in the woods, like shit, as like a failed attempt to try to get in there solo. And now, Leona, it's a pleasure to meet you. Hello, I'm Evan. Welcome to the Honey Heist game.
Thanks for having me.
Leona, do you have a D6?
I do.
Leona, roll that D6.
All right.
And tell me what number you get.
Rolling 1d6. I am getting 6.
You're getting 6? Can't do it. Roll it again.
Okay.
Roll another one.
Oh no. Give me something else other than a 6.
Spoiler alert, you only have a 1 in 3 chance of getting a right number.
5. You get 4. What do you want to be, 4 or 5? Pick a number, 4 or 5.
4.
Okay, you are a black bear. You are super good at climbing. So a black bear comes running out of the town, hauling ass straight up a tree. No problem at all. Right up that tree. And is now just in the tree like, shit, roll another D6.
Oh my goodness, rolling.
That's right. You're building your character right now.
To be fair, we all did in stream too.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
A 2, you're washed up. So you probably used to be good at this, but you're super not good at it anymore. You lost the touch. You had the spark. And this is evidence of it. Here they are chasing at it. You got sloppy. You tried to climb like a nearby 7-Eleven to try to steal the 7-Eleven sign off of it, which was just a terrible idea. And you're not really sure what you were thinking, but these are the mistakes you make when you're a little washed up. And I am gonna make you. You get choice. 2 or 6.
Let's go with 6.
6. All right. You are the face, so you're a con man bear. So that's your job. So your job is to calm the people of this town out of all their honey. The twist is you can't speak people, so you're gonna have to figure out how to be a con man without language. So I am excited to see how you figure that one out. So this presents a problem, fellow bears. Here's this bear, kind of just blew your spot a little bit, but it goes poking out, and yeah. So there's this bear up a tree, and the people kind of like shoo. They sort of look. They can't really see you, and they sort of go back to town, and they high five, like yeah, and they go back to town. Let's go eat more honey. And that's what they do.
They're eating all our honey. Those
go
little
follow 'em.
people are gonna be as big as us by the time they're done with it.
They'll be tastier that way, though.
Wait.
Now.
Actually, does this tree have branches that look like bamboo? Because I should probably eat them.
There's one pretty low. Like as you're sitting there and you're kind of like frustrated, like darn, and you look over and you see one just poking out. It's perfect. It was just like bamboo.
Okay. So our new guest looks down and just sees this this panda, this dopey looking panda, just like chomping away at like the base of the tree that you're in, like
staring. I'm gonna say staring right at you.
yeah, just like blank eyes. There's
Probably
nothing going on.
looking through you, essentially.
1,000-yard stare right at you.
And now you look at these bears, Leona, and you know these bears are in the game. They're in the life. They're here to steal this honey. This may be your only chance to really, get in on the score.
Hello down there. I mean, we're bears. We can speak bear to each other, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can speak normal.
Yeah.
This game would be unplayable.
Yeah.
Y'all want to get some honey?
What's your
Who
name?
are you?
I am Ursa Bearman. She wants to dance like Ursa Bearman. I don't know. I heard it in the song. I really love the name. It works for me, okay?
Okay. All right. So this is what we're doing?
Thank you. Someone understood the reference, yes.
Oh, I understood. All right. Well, you seem to have gotten run out of town. You shouldn't have gone in alone.
That was my big mistake. Was I tried to do it alone. I need a team. Can I?
Well,
you all seem
I'm
like
retired, so good luck. Oh no, wait, I'm back in the game.
we always need one that's retired and back in the game. It's never
One
full
last
team
job.
without it.
They do think they're the best at it.
My name is Ursinist Berg9. I'm a polar bear. If you couldn't tell from the massive whiteness.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Are you still up in the top of the tree? Is this whole conversation happening like cool?
I'm just clinging on and there. I'm just looking down and all right. Do y'all mind if I come down first, maybe, and we can talk eye to eye? Can I?
I imagine I'm thoroughly in your way and just like not registering that you need me to move.
Chris.
Panda.
I will walk over and I will move Chris.
Just need to
My
move
favorite song is Panda.
Baroness grabs you on the shoulders, Chris, and just starts to slide you over. And in the snow, due to the fact that you were the muscle, you just and the panda just taking the stick, which is still with you as it snaps off the tree as you slide across the snow. Now your way is free and clear.
Thank you. Let me climb down here so that we can.
You should do more sliding.
So you climb down easily. That you have not gotten any worse at. You're very good at climbing.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Once again, hello everyone. Sorry for the awkward introduction. Like I said, my name is Ursa Bearman. Don't know why she's got an accent, but we're cool.
It happened. It happened. Hey, you stick with it.
Yep.
Now it's there forever. Perfect.
I love it already.
So,
I'm Chris Bearsworth.
Hello, Chris Bearsworth. It's nice to meet ya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asleep.
Am I having?
Ursinist Borgnine, as you guys are speaking, he is at attention. He is sort of paying attention. You see his eyes glaze over. He goes, and passes out and falls into the snow. And he is out cold, just asleep.
Wait, was his retirement just hibernation?
It is getting
goes into
close.
retirement for like 6 months every
It's
year.
getting close to that time. That's kind of why you guys want to hit this big score before you take your hibernation. You know, you don't need the honey, but you want it.
I'm a polar bear. Every nation is hibernation.
Oh,
No, I said that wrong.
that doesn't even. I fucking hate
It was
this.
funny though.
I hate this so much. Fucking puns. Okay. He says while still laying in the ground, looking up to and then puts his face back in the snow. into the group. Okay, so the town is laid before you, but obviously, if you enter the town, you get chased out. So the only way that you can enter a town, and you all know this, you've all been in the game for a while, is you need to disguise. You need to look like people. And there's really only one or a few ways to do that. There are a couple of prospects for costumes within the town and a little bit outside of it. Within the town, there is a couple of different things. There is a hat cart, first of all. It's just hats. So, you just could get some hats and you're good and you're people. There's also what catches your eye is there's someone in sort of a mascot outfit. And it looks like it's in front of a high school fundraiser booth amongst this festival. And it's for the Himalaya Yetis. The town that you're in right now, Leona, is Himalaya Hamlet in the mountains of New Jersey. So that's where you are right now. So there's sort of a big Yeti costume dancing. That's a perfect disguise. Looks pretty big. You guys could fit in it. Your real claws would probably poke out, but you're good.
The honey badger might fit.
Well, the honey badger would fit in just about in a hat. The honey badger could be inside of a hat. And yeah, so that's kind of actually it for outfits. And you see that there is the hat cart is the one that's closest to the edge. It's closest to the entrance of town, which is the beginning of the festival. It's kind of right on the corner there, and the man sitting at it seems to be drinking heavily. So yeah, how would you like to approach this?
I could steal one or more.
Okay.
I could do that. I could steal. I could do it.
I've known you a while, Chris. And you're a great bear.
That's it? Just you're a great bear.
That's all.
Bear.
Dot. No, just period.
Alright, give it a go, I guess.
Well, I don't really make plans, so if somebody else wants to, it's fine.
What about some kind of distraction? Do we?
I will slowly start making a trail through the snow, using my being a polar bear whiteness to kind of like stealthily carve a path for the other bears.
Are you like slug crawling through the snow? Is that what you're telling me? Are you like Metal Gear Soliding through the snow because of you're like ghillie suiting or something amongst the snow? Is that what you're saying?
To be fair,
That's exactly what I'm saying.
my dog is white and fluffy, and he's literally invisible in the snow when he goes.
Okay, so I like
We have
this.
to put a coat on him.
So I like
can't
this.
be identified by infrared.
So I want you to roll 2d6 just because I love this idea. You get no specialties for slugging your way through snow, so just roll 2d6 and tell me what you get.
I got a 1 and a 3.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So as you see your Sinus Borgnine go like, and you see he's got a plan, and he slams into the snow again, and just starts ass up, ass down scooting as he goes across, arms at his sides, so it's just face first through the snow, and the path is pretty big because polar bears are the big kind of bear. So the path is big, so you can all kind of get down and start like army crawling through the snow, like the trenches, as you're on your way to this hat cart.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
So now it's you or Sinus Borgnine, and do just you go, Chris Bearsworth? Do you just go with him? I think you're muted, Chris Bearsworth.
Oh, sorry, what?
Do you go with Ursinus Borgnine? Or does everybody go with Ursinus Borgnine?
I
don't know.
definitely
You didn't
go.
tell me what to
Okay. Karen's there. Okay, excellent. Ursinus
do. Okay.
Behrman? What was it? Behrman?
Bear
Ursa?
No, not you, Ursa. Ursa
There's
Baron.
2 Ursa-oriented names.
Yeah.
Here.
So, all right, I'm just gonna say you guys are all going then. So you're all just outside of this hat rack, but the man is still there, drinking his honey whiskey and staring off into the people and just like and just drinking. Horrible, disgusting man. And every time somebody walks by, he goes hat, hat, hat. And just keeps drinking. How would you like to approach stealing this? You do see that the hats there's a display in front. He has what looks to be a bucket of hats. I don't know why he keeps them in a bucket. It sounds weird to put hats in, but that's where they are. He has 3 hats on top of his head to show off,
Okay.
his collection,
Okay.
and there's hats hanging. How
So,
would you like to approach
Can
this?
I grab can I reach out like very sneakily ish to the hat bucket and just like grab
Okay, I want you to roll 2d6.
towards us.
1 normal and 1 for your... Or no, I'm sorry, just 1d6.
Just
for your-
1d6. I'm incompetent,
1d6 for
remember.
feet. Yes.
That's a 4.
Okay, so as you go like,
We're never getting anything, you guys.
oh shit, you reach, and then you just, and sneeze, and the snow kind of flies around, and he looks down, and he just sees you, hand on the bucket, staring up at him, and there's
A panda with dopey eyes, like,
he's looking at you, you're looking at him, he's looking at you, you're looking at him.
Karen.
panda?
He goes, hey, you a bear?
Panda! I've become a Pokemon. I can only say my own name in bear language, apparently. Panda!
I don't like pandas. And you see him reach for a baseball bat and pick it up.
I would
Panda!
like to maul him and take his whiskey.
Okay, so you roll, because that's, well, you're not muscle actually, so I think you're just supposed to roll 1d6. I think I've been doing that wrong. But roll, I don't know, I guess roll 2d6 because you have carnage. It's part
I
of your
feel like this
special
is
ability.
super in character, so.
So a 6 and a 2.
Okay, so good enough. So he goes, I don't like pants, lifts up this baseball bat, and you see whack, Karen just lands on his face, claws holding the back of his head, kind of staring, and then just and sinks the claws into the back of his head, and he holding you on his face as you're just tearing at his head.
You
and
leave my dopey son alone! Ah!
as you are screaming and flying around.
He's gonna leave some scars. Fortunately, he's in the hat business.
Oops, he goes freaking and screaming, running, and he runs kind of off and behind some of the buildings. Some of the people turn around and look, but by that point you've already pulled the bucket away as they look and just see a big path through the snow, empty of people. And they're like, huh, where'd that drunk asshole go? And currently he is running behind the buildings, screaming with a honey badger on his face. He runs into a building, slams into it. As you kind of move, he slams his face into it and falls down, and he is unconscious. His whiskey kind of flies through the air, and you just catch it and just, I assume, just take a swig because
Oh God,
you
yes.
have it now. I don't know what these buttons. I'm sorry, I got distracted by these buttons at the bottom of my screen. Somebody sent me something, and I don't know how it works. So. Roll. Oh, I see. It's the rules. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so you now have a bucket full of hats, an unconscious man, and a bottle of honey whiskey. Well done. Good job. But it's not the mother load.
Drinking the whiskey count as eating a load of honey.
Yes. You know what? For you it will. Because I don't think you can't tell the difference. This is all honey. This tastes like honey.
Like honey.
The alcoholic unhinged.
Good enough for me. And she's the driver, so that's good. This is a good combo.
It's gonna go really well.
So that
Always,
I get
always.
to home.
Do not drink and drive.
Especially while unhinged.
Also, the show.
Or if you're like,
So you now do have like a load of honey that if you start, raising or failing things. I would actually say, Chris Bearsworth, you're going to put a point into Bear now because you failed that and you did a bad job. And it's very frustrating. So now you're a little bit more Bear-like than you should be.
You take one out of criminal and put it into Bear, right?
Yes, take a point out of criminal and put it into Bear. So now you'll have 4 Bear points and 2 criminal points.
Yep.
And I would like you, Karen, to take a point out of Bear and put it into criminal, because that worked perfectly. You got your whiskey and that man is unconscious and his face is disfigured for life. Nice. You did it.
Ski lessons from now on.
Awesome. So now that you all have your hats, you start digging through the bucket, and I assume you all have hats, or some of you have hats prepared. Leona, if you don't have a hat prepared, that's fine. We can just pretend that you're wearing a hat. Which kind of hat? Actually, you know what, Leona? I'm gonna roll a dice for you to find out what kind of hat your bear is wearing.
Sure.
I want to roll 2.
Okay, you can roll 2, Myers. So Leona, you are wearing a crown. You find a plastic, and you find like a plastic king's crown, and you're like, this is exactly what I need. And you go ahead and put it right on your head. It's got little fake gemstones in it.
I'm the face of this operation.
And Kevin, what did you get?
2.
You have a top hat. The Sinus Borgnine's got that top hat. Nice.
Classy Bear.
Nice.
Do a tap dance.
I mean, you can. Can you only do a tap dance with the top hat? Why did that suddenly change your ability to do a tap dance? Why is it now? Now I can do a tap dance.
Well, you can't do a tap dance without a proper hat.
It's the old silk hat that they put on Frosty, where he could suddenly dance.
Ugh. Okay.
Knowledge. Yes, I will also. Is there, since we're still near the car, is there like a cane I can grab as well? A top hat and cane.
Yes. You know what? Yes, you may.
He seemed like the kind of old grumpy man that might have had a cane. That he
you may
certainly
grab it.
I would like to note that I grabbed a strategic hat that can hide my face for thieving.
That's very good.
I'm like the dudes from Home Alone.
You grabbed a hat that
That's
belongs
called,
to the.
You know what that's called, right? It's called a balaclava.
A balaclava. Nice. Nice.
Yep, there we go. There it is. Nailed it.
Real quick, Nerdy, I'm not sure if I'm not seeing it correctly, but on the Twitch, it does not show us on there. I don't know if I'm looking at the wrong thing or not. I might just be looking at the wrong screen.
Currently, all I see is Karen. Hold on.
Because I just see the.
Captain J. Cross says we're all up.
Yeah, we're up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I just didn't. I guess my Twitch is all messed up, so I probably am looking at the wrong chat. So, whatever. So moving forward, Ursinus Borgnine, you have a nice top hat and cane. All the rest of you have your nice little hats. Ursa Bearman, you have your crown. We'll learn these damn names. It'll kill me. I refuse to write them down because I just don't feel like it, and I will learn them. So, now that you have your disguises, the rest of the town awaits. Would you like to mingle in the festival and see what awaits you?
Yes.
Okay. So, you kind of sheepishly peek around the building, sort of testing your new, outfits. And as you start walking out, you notice that people don't pay you any mind. You look exactly like people now because your hats. So obviously, no one knows the difference. In fact, as you go past Ursa Thurman, some people are like, oh my goodness, there's a queen over here. What's going on? Some kind of princess going on. Oh, good, you're doing the wave. That's good. People are like, oh, my goodness. Yeah. Not very bright people here in Himalaya Hamlet in the mountains of New Jersey. So, you guys are now in and amongst the festival grounds. You see that there's tons of stalls and stalls, carts, and things. There's different things to see. There's those cars that I mentioned before. It almost looks like it's like a sort of a minor unofficial car show that like the 5 or 6 gearheads in town, the people who just love fixing their cars, are just showing off their cars. No one else is really there. It's just them, and they're like finding a good excuse to show off their cars, but they're beautiful cars. You see the abandoned house that they're sitting in front of, is a very spooky looking house that they're all parked, or I think they're parked in front of it. Yeah. You see that amongst all of these stalls and all the things, there's like a ball toss, a dunk tank in winter, a stall that just says "Watch this," and there's like a crowd, you can't really see what they're all watching, but it just says "Watch this," and there is henna tattoos, there's real tattoos, there's an arts and crafts stall, there is the hat cart is sufficiently rated, there is the historical society stall, which you can see there are fake muskets, tricorn hats, and boring looking pamphlets, and people dressed up in colonial gear just sort of like, hey, we want to tell you, okay, and no one's really listening to them, and they're walking past, and it kind of sucks for them because they're really into it. The Himalaya Yeti High School fundraiser is there. There is a booth that says information, right, and advice, and it is a shitty looking booth, kind of haphazardly made, with one large man sitting there just kind of watching the crowd with a smile. And yeah, those are all of the carts and things that you can see. There are different buildings in town. There's the town bank, which is currently closed. There's a big building. Everything is kind of lit up and decorated, but some of the buildings are closed, some of them are not. This building is open. It is called Big Bill's Butter Bodega. There is another one called the Oneater Bread Bakery, spelled 1-DER. There is the Starcade, which is a big arcade that is open and vibrant, lots of people. There is the Fine China store, which is closed currently, and Merlin's Shop of Magic, which is also open. There's also the stage, which does not currently have a show on, and yeah, lots of people just kind of milling about. The Santa Claus at the tree. Is there anything in particular you guys would want to go and look and do? Yes.
So given, my outfit here, I would like to swipe somebody's phone and headphones so that I can look like a disaffected teenager.
Okay, so you're going to try to steal from somebody. So go ahead and roll.
It cannot be that hard. People leave their phones in all kinds of weird places.
That's right. Go ahead and roll thief.
All right.
Roll your dice, whichever is applicable.
Well, I rolled a 4 and a 6.
Okay, okie dokie. So you go, and you guys are like, I imagine you guys are pretty cool, like walking down this town, almost like Reservoir Dogs, and you're just like, yeah, like we're about to do the best heist, and then you see as Chris Hemsworth just starts grabbing at someone's bag and their clothes, and they're like, what the fuck? And an old woman starts beating your face in with an umbrella, and you're like, you kind of go off screen, and you guys
I'm worried I'm gonna lose my hat, and then everyone will know. And so
you hold on to your hat, you go off screen, and then you guys are distracted. You keep walking, and then she comes back around. The old woman's still hitting her, and she's like, "Okay." So you failed at that. Put another point into bear.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Now you're getting pretty close.
Okay.
If you go full bear, you go ravenous. Now here's how you fix it. If you are going bear, or if a friend is also going bear, what you can do is fix it and put another point into criminal by having a criminal flashback. So if you'd like to put another point into criminal, give us a little flashback about the planning phase of this job, or something that takes you back to a criminal time in your past. But you don't need to do it now. Whenever you're like,
no, I've got some. I can do it real fast, and then we can
go right ahead.
And I will feel less sad about my epic failures as a thief. God, even the dice are living up to the incompetent name. So I remember back when I first got into the game, right? I was a fresh-faced new recruit. I went to the back of the CD. What?
Fresh-faced recruit bear.
Recruit bear. And I went to the back of the bar, and I met Ursonist Bergnine, who was the first guy I ever worked with, and we were sitting back in the like I said, in the back of this bar, and just quizzing him. He was telling me all these jobs he'd done, and I was learning so much, and I've just looked up to him ever since.
Okay. And in this moment of shame, of such a you've literally not succeeded at one thing yet. You kind of look to him, you look to him, and he came out of retirement for this job. You look to him, and Ursinus, what kind of look are you giving to Chris Bearsworth right now, witnessing this?
Like a medium kind of look with a little bit of a smile. I'm like, it's okay, kid. You'll get this. You'll get it sorted. You still got your hat.
A single tear runs down my
You
cheek.
still got your hat.
The music swells.
Yeah.
And I find it in myself.
Yes. Good. You find the inner strength. A very Christmas moment right there. Very, very, very warm holiday moment.
I totally forgot this was a Christmas special.
Yeah, it doesn't, well,
We've already murdered somebody, or almost.
Not dead. Not yet. We'll see.
Okay, cool. Somebody else can do things now.
So where would you guys like to go? Of all these crazy things that I mentioned, is there any place?
Go to the arcade and see if they've got a Coleco.
Okay, so Ursinus Borgnine starts heading to the Starcade. The arcade is alive with lights of the screens and the clacking of buttons. There are a ton of different games, but a large group seems to be gathered around one in particular, the game Baloney Man. At the game is a young kid, about 14 years old, and people are chanting, champ, 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 as he is like playing this game, crushing it. Must be crushing it. You don't totally know what the hell's going on. You've never even played this game before, but it doesn't look too hard. So you're kind of like, what are these guys cheering about? And this kid's just slamming the keys, and you can see that there's a little sign sort of in the area. It's almost like they set this up, people are kind of lining up, looks like to challenge him. And it says, beat the champ, get the prize. And so yeah, the prize is a mystery box. What's inside? You don't know. Beat the champ to find out. And so you can just sort of walk up and challenge the champ if you'd like. Other than that, there's all kinds of other games and stuff, but this seems to be like the go-to thing to do. But you're a Sinus Borgnine, so you don't care. So you do whatever you want, man.
Yeah, I'm like an old man plus a bear. So I'm just gonna be like, oh, is this where the lines? Yep. Guess I'm next.
Oh, you want to challenge the champ? Okay. So as you stand in line, big and old, this kid, bang, and he kind of pulls his hands back, and he's wearing like a cool sideways hat, and he's in like a cool like 80s like jacket. I don't know why he's wearing that, but he is, and he's got just this uncomfortable looking teenage boy, and he looks over to you in the crowd, even though you're not the next in line, Ursinus. He points to you and goes, what's the old man doing here? What's that all about?
I will just like knock over who's ever in the front of the line.
Oh shit. So there's a small frail boy.
I'm just doing a paw, I'm not clawing.
Right. Oh yeah, no, you're not clawing him. There's a small frail boy who goes, who do you mean? And you just see on his face, and you just kind of push him out of the way. He's like, oh dear, and he kind of falls over, and you step up. And this kid, as he's sitting there, as you get now a closer look, you see that he kind of looks and goes, and turns around to go back to the game, like totally dissing you. And on the back of his shirt, he has his own name, Pibby Dungaroo, and that's the champ Dungaroo, Pibby Dungaroo. So this kid just like totally snuffed you. And back in like your heyday as a hacker, like you don't just like do that. I guess I think that's like how our hackers insult each other. I don't know. He's showing you ain't got what it takes to even threaten him.
Yeah, I'll put a quarter down. No, I'm screw putting a quarter down. I don't know how this works.
You just walk up. It's already fed.
I just walk up. I push the button.
So, think you can really challenge me? Yeah, I forgot you can't fucking talk. He goes, whatever you say, man. And he just
Where We're never gonna retrieve the honey. We're just gonna like pick around in this festival.
That's kind of why I made all this shit, just to see. So, here's what we're gonna need to do. Because we're doing this, I guess you're gonna roll Hacker.
I take my cane, I point at the box, and then I just like point at the kid, and then I just point at the ground.
And he follows the movements of the cane. His ground goes, I don't get it. Is that like some sort of?
And then I'll just
wait. Oh wait, is you what?
I'll pop his hat off with the cane.
He freaks out. He's very upset. You can't just do that. That's not fair. And as he goes down to pick up his hat, is that when you want to start playing?
Yes.
You get advantage, I guess, if we do that. Go ahead. Roll 2d6. Fuck it. Let's do this.
Alright, so I got 2 5s.
Okay, so you tip his hat off and you're like, alright, I have no fucking idea how to play this game.
What's a Street Fighter? I say to the other ones.
You're playing Baloney, man. And the kids go, ooh. So now it's a bad start. Now, I want you to just roll 1d6 and tell me what you get. I got a 2.
I got a 2.
You guys, so he comes back up. You didn't get anywhere ahead of him. So now you're even. You're both clacking and clicking and clacking and clicking and clacking the buttons. And you totally don't know how to play this game, but you're fucking faking it till you make it. And you're doing not a half bad job. And I want you to roll another d6 against me. Ready? I got a 2.
I got a 5.
Okay, so you and as you're playing it, you're starting to figure it out. The algorithms, the numbers all start swimming in front of you as you see the baloney man wiggling his arms. You get it. You understand how this game is meant to be played. And the baloney rains from the sky, just like the numbers in the Matrix. And the kid is sweating. He's sweating and he's looking over to you. You're in the lead. You ready? Let's roll again.
All right.
4.
I got a 1.
Ooh, the kid starts pulling ahead. The crowd is going wild. You guys have no fucking idea what's going on. This is the dumbest game you've ever seen. Baloney man, this is so stupid. But Ursinus Borgnine is in it 110%. Roll again.
Can I figure out kind of a cheat? Like, oh, obviously, this is where if you push down on the console for 3 seconds and then rub your foot on the carpet, and I'm probably still a little wet, and give it a shock to the coin box, I'll get an extra life, which is actually a thing.
Do you actually do that?
Yep.
Okay, then I want you to roll another d6 against me. I rolled a 2.
All right, I got a 2 and a 6.
Oh, so you go, you're like, fuck this, and you rub your foot against the thing, jam your nail, your claw into the thing, and it kind of sparks, and your side of the screen goes like rainbow colored, and the crowd goes nuts, and they're like, he got Super Saiyan Baloney Man, whatever it is, and the other kid,
Super gay saying Baloney Man.
Jimmy is next to him. He's like, that's impossible. That's a secret move. And you crush him. And it goes high score. And confetti comes out of the top, I guess. And Jimmy slams his hat down on the keyboard. Because it's not fair. It's not fair. And he starts walking away. And you are given the mystery box.
I will put his hat on my hat.
You would what?
I put his hat on my hat.
You take his hat and put it on your hat. It's a nice flat, like bright purple flat brim hat with like a yellow rim, because I think those are the colors in Mario Odyssey. And you pop it right on the top of your head, and as a trophy. And you kind of stare at him as he walks away, like he knows he just lost. Now you have this mystery box. Now, I want you to roll a d6 to find out what's inside. Tell me what you roll.
3.
3. I put so much cool shit in this box. Not this one. You open the box. And it is a potato.
Potato.
My note next to it says good source of starch. So you have a pretty sweet potato in that box. Hey, good job, man.
But not a sweet potato.
I will look at it appreciatively, put it back in the box, and then carry the box under my arm, so I'm carrying a mystery box.
You're carrying a mystery box. Oh, okay. All right. You now have one mystery box, which no one knows what's inside. And the kids are clapping, and they're just like, whoa! And you still got it. You're retired, but you still got it.
How did you do that?
It's just buttons. There's 3 buttons. You just push them a lot.
It's button match.
Could have just chewed the wires. It would have been fine.
Oh, I would have just pulled the cord out, but I've seen Cubs like that. He needed to be shown what for.
That's right. So, Ursinus
Didn't
exits victorious. I can't believe he fucking got potato. I also put old shoes as an option, but that's okay. So, this arcade is done with no honey to show for it. There is honey to buy. There's little bits of honey here and there, and there's also the bakery, which you can tell smells of honey. But if you guys don't need it right now, there's plenty of other stalls and things to check out. There's the information and advice stall. There's Big Bill's Butter Bodega. There's this the spooky abandoned house. There's the car show. There's all kinds of things. What would you guys like to do?
Wasn't there a magic place?
Yes, there was Merlin's Shop of Magic.
That sounds like a really handy place to visit. I feel like we can get some good distractions or something there.
Okay, so you're thinking the long game. You're thinking what we can use to distract people. Yeah, it's something to help the job. Not just crushing a child's dreams in an arcade. So you go into Merlin's Shop of Magic, a small cluttered store that smells of incense and dust. It's full of strange knickknacks and jewelry, tie-dye clothes and dream catchers. The shop's owner, a tall, very thin, bearded man in a wizard robe, greets you wisely and asks if you'd like a free reading. Oh, I think I was actually supposed to do that part. Hello! Would you like a free reading? I can sense your aura. Yes? Come closer to me. Come on. Do you go closer to him?
I guess so.
So you go closer to him. He goes, very good. Place your hand in mine. You place your hand in his, and he holds your hand, and his eyes go white, and he goes, and as he starts staring into space, it's horrible. You try to pull your hand away, but his grip is too strong, and you're like, huh. And as he sits there, the kind of the store around you starts to go dark, almost like what's his face did in Lord of the Rings. Gandalf, thank you. Just like a storm cloud is emerging.
What is going on?
And he says,
you need me to maul him?
He's
The conjurer of cheap tricks.
He says this in a dark, echoing voice. Dark tidings come hidden in beauty. Beware the stars. They come for you with vile intent. Doom, doom. And then he lets go of your hands. Okay, that's one free reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to look about the store.
Yeah, we'll never come back here.
Okay, bye. There are some impressive things within the store. If you guys wanted to, you don't have any money, so you have to steal some things. But there are some things that would be handy.
I could do that.
Can you? So, if you'd like to try, there are 3 different real items that kind of perk your interest or seem useful. There is a wand, a magic hat, and a gremlin in a cage. It is a vicious gremlin in a cage, a magic hat, or a wand. Would you like to inspect any of these items closely or see if you can steal them? Nerdy, Baroness, I see you kind of smile. Would you like to take a closer look at any of these?
I take a closer look at the gremlin.
So you go over. Now you're the muscle. You know when things are useful and when they aren't. Magic wand, magic hat, whatever. But that gremlin, you go over and you take a look at it, and there's just a little note underneath it that says, just add water. And you see him just... And he's this nasty green thing with sharp claws, a kind of a white mohawk down of hair, like tuft of hair down his back. Just kind of these nasty stripes of darker green and lighter green, and just got like kind of spiky elbows and nasty claws and nasty teeth, big yellow eyes. And he's just sort of looking at you and like, and you see him just sort of seething with violence, but kept in that tiny cage.
Aaron is just like, I feel this goblin.
The price for him is $6,000.
Cool.
Pretty sure we can offer a potato, but
So
6,000 pounds weighs more than we do.
I'm pretty sure my plan is to just grab the cage and walk out. When he tries to stop me, I'm just gonna terrify him.
Okay.
Throw me
Okay.
at him if he tries
Okay.
to stop you.
So you go, you look at the cage, you do this. So you just grab the cage, and he goes, "Oh, that's a fine choice." And you just start leaving. He goes, "Now hold on." And as you start approaching the door, he poofs in front of the door and goes, "Now hold on there, friend. You can't just take my property." And what would you like to do?
I much like I did earlier, I will just rise up and just right
Roll
in his
2d6.
face.
Roll. Actually, I think roll 3d6 because you're muscle also.
Okay.
Because you're a grizzly bear, you get terrified, and you're the muscle. So you're just like, this is what your job is, to intimidate.
2 4s and a 6.
What's your bear? What's your bear level?
I believe it should be
Level 3.
4 now, because I did terrify that guy earlier.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I probably wasn't keeping track of it very good. Okay, so then that's 2 successes then if your criminal is 4. So as he goes, "You can't just take my property," and you and your teeth, your kind of teeth are right here, and your spit is sort of hitting him in the face as his skin just goes pure white and his lips go super pale, and he kind of shrinks back into his like little wizard hat. And he goes, "Would you like a bag?"
No.
Oh my god. We're the most amoral bears.
"Okay then." And you see him start to weep as you just stare at him as you leave his store with his gremlin, as you're walking by him, the gremlin was just flipping him the bird as he's he's a terrible creature, and you know this, but you know it's useful. Would you guys like to take anything else in the store?
I just want to pet the gremlin.
Okay, as you walk by, you pet the gremlin. He's like, as you're kind of scratching his head, and he's kicking his foot like a dog, but like violently still. You have like a sort of a kinship immediately with this creature. You understand him.
Of course you do.
Both you and the muscle kind of get it. You get it.
I'm curious about what else did you say there was? A magic wand?
There's a magic wand and a magic hat.
Let's look into that magic wand.
Okay, so you take a look at the magic wand, and it has a little note that says, "It's magic. Give it a flick." And that's all it says. But it's in like a glass case. Looks like you're gonna have to steal it or ask to see it. But he's currently like kind of still collecting himself, so you have a chance.
I think I'm gonna go for it. I'm not even gonna bother. I might as well, since he's terrified, just gonna smash it open and take it.
You're just gonna bust it open? Okay. Roll.
I already scared the crap out of him. What the heck?
Okay, just roll 1d6 because this has nothing to do with anything that you're good at. Unless you can somehow justify it with some sort of flashback or something. Also, nerdy, you get another point into bear.
Yeah.
I rolled a 2.
If that's enough, that's good. Yep, that's lower than your...
You want to roll low on these.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So while he's just walking away, you're like, "Yeah! Ha!" And just pick up, with your little crown, you pick up a magic wand and you leave, and he's like... As he's...
It's the princess theme.
It does fit the princess theme. It is, I will say, it is like pink and swirly. So it's like... So you have a nice pink swirly magic wand.
Well, now I'm all inspired, and I want to try and steal the wizard.
You go ahead. I'll tell you what. You go ahead and roll 2d6. Let's see if you can feel something now that the store is sufficiently robbed. Let's see if you can feel something.
I got a 1 and a 3!
Hey! So
My
now
criminal is 2, so that's 1 success.
So while he's distracted, you leave. You know what? No, you leave the store. I'm gonna say Ursinus Borgnine is just probably standing outside or something. You leave the store after the other two have left the store, all stolen objects, and you come out finally being able to steal this magic hat. And you're like, "Yeah, I did it!" Even though like the other two just totally loosened it up for you. You got it. You did it. Now here's.
I did it all by myself, you guys.
Well done. Well done.
It is a magic hat of holding, is what it's called. So works the same as a bag of holding. If you don't know what that is, you can just keep shoving things into it as long as they fit into the width of a hat. So anything about the size of a head.
But does it hold me? Does it cuddle me?
No. You know what?
I
So
think it's
alone.
your question, and this game is prepared to answer.
It's cold. It is cold and emotionally distant when you need it most. So it's not very. It is. I'll tell you what. It's a hat. You support it. It doesn't support you. Something to think about. Something to think about. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Let's maybe we go on to a break right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to about a 10-minute break, and then we got to start trying to steal some honey, folks. We have about an hour and a half left.
We have no brains. We have no brains.
And you have nothing. But
we have no one who's capable of making a plan.
I'll start.
No brains. This is good.
I
All
have
right,
a
so
plan. I don't know what you mean.
we'll be back
Your
in a
plan is
couple of
murder
minutes.
everyone.
We'll be back in a couple of minutes, and hopefully we will be more successful at being bear thieves. But we'll see. I doubt
Hey,
it.
I finally did it.
You
Fourth
did it.
time.
You did it.
Fourth time's the charm.
Alrighty. We will see you soon. we are live,
Hello.
bringing everybody their newest nightmare there.
Is it up? Is there
You
Oh,
can
something?
it
credit
is up.
slash blame
Oh
It
my
is up.
for that.
It's so bad.
It's
I'm just
horrifying.
It's fucking awful.
I feel-
Ursula's working on.
We are all higgledy-piggledy, by the way.
Oh, we are. Uh-oh.
In that
does that mean?
Karen and Chris are switched. I think everyone else is good, though.
Oh yeah, that's.
I'm Karen now, apparently.
Oh,
Cool.
Whoops.
I will fix that real quick.
So, while Baroness here fixed that for us, well, you wanted to do a flashback, right? In a minute.
Yes.
You want us to go
I
to-
can do that real quick because this
Okay,
will only take
okay.
a second. So I
Feel
want
free.
to. The flashback is just everybody's like at the table. They're like planning out the heist, like how we're gonna get into town and stuff, and they're like moving little figures around.
Right now, this is in the woods, and you're
Yeah.
just on a dead tree with a terribly drawn map. I would like to point that out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and just like little
probably-
markers that are supposed to be us. And Baroness just keeps taking hers and moving it into positions where she'd get to knock someone out. While
And then
everybody
I
else
punch
is
him in
like,
the face.
I'm gonna-
everybody else is like
this
seriously
plan would be better
planning.
with one more person. With one more person, it'd be perfect.
With one more person, it would go off without a hitch, and it has so far, perfectly. All right. Well then, Baroness, you can take a point back into criminal, because of your strategic. I'm sorry. Let me do my air quotes. Your strategic planning. So you go ahead and do that, and then everybody else. What would we like to do as you exit the magic shop? There's still the entire festival before you. All the different stalls, some of them with little tasting cups of honey. There's still the different stores, the different things around. There's a ball toss, a dunk tank, the advice and information, the spooky house, the town bank. Well, that's closed, but the bakery. There's all kinds of things. Everybody's muted, by the way.
There's Santa in the stage.
Oh, before we go into another thing, I feel like I should really test out my magic wand.
Okay, all right. You'd like to test out that wand? Okay.
Yeah, what was it? Swish and flick or something?
Yeah, it said just give it a flick. So it's a random thing. I didn't write this down, so I'm just gonna make things up off the top of my head. Okay. So
Okay.
you're gonna go ahead and flick, and I'm gonna roll a dice and see how terrible it is. Higher is terrible, lower is better.
Oh.
So that's a 6. So so that's very
Yeah,
very
but we
bad.
don't know what dice that was. Okay.
It was a D6.
Okay.
So you so you take it and you're like, ha, and your crown turns into a flower crown, which yes, you have one. That's perfect. Okay. And at the same time, snakes pour out of it,
No.
pouring out of it like rain. You're like, ah, ah, ah. You can't take it off. So you put that back on. You can't take it off of you as it has gridded your head, and you're as snakes pour out. And as quickly as they come out, they have stopped coming out and are now just slithering through the snow. They are hard to see in the snow as they are sort of white speckled snakes, and off they go into the town. Are they poisonous? You don't know. Are they going to bite people? You don't know. Oh God, what have you done? And
The best things.
you realize that on the tag that says it's magic, give it a flick, and you look at the other side of the tag and it says, "Oh dear God, no!" In all caps. Oh, it is magic, but sometimes it does bad things, and those
You know,
What do you
when
expect?
snakes come out of the closet, it just always goes poorly.
always goes poorly.
Oh my god.
And there they go,
Bad.
off into the town.
Bad.
Oh, thank goodness I'm a bear and I can shake myself off and just.
That's true. They're not on you. They're not on you. But woe be to anyone that steps on a snake this festival night, because what do they do? Okay, so
Karen just starts like cackling and takes a swig of the honey whiskey.
violently drinks the whiskey. Are you putting another point into Bear because you're doing that, or are you just drinking the whiskey?
Yes.
Okay, put another point into Bear. Okay, so you have now learned what your wand does.
Is it a one-shot deal, or does it do it more than
No,
once?
no, it is like violently powerful. You can feel it. Like,
Is it shake weighting in your hand?
no, that would be ridiculous.
No.
Well,
Yes,
When you flick it, it just kind of vibrates a little. But we ain't flicking this no more, okay?
Okay. We'll see. So, we'll see if you could resist the temptation to make more snakes. Where would you like to go now? Do we have a plan? Is there anything that you guys want to do to try to heist this honey? I mentioned before that the only one who knows the secret, and you guys would know this through your planning, of where the honey hoard is the mayor herself. And she is sort of wandering around the milling about every once in a while. Right now, she's kind of near the stage, just kind of, checking things out, talking to people, meeting people.
does she carry a purse?
No, she's just in sort of like a she's in like a winter coat, but like classy looking. You know what I mean? It's like, she's well dressed. She's out there in public, and she does have what appears to be a big, upset, grumpy looking bodyguard just sort of following her around, touching his ear every once in a while, and going copy. But there's no one else that he's talking to. You don't know that, but there's no one else he's talking to in his earpiece. He just does that. So there's that happening. So what's the plan?
I'm just gonna walk back, kind of like to the behind stage area,
Okay, so you go towards the stage, the back of the stage, no problem.
just like a wandering old man.
Okay, so you go backstage, and there's some people setting up, and what you find is there's a man going, no, you move that box over there. No, and you move that box over there. Don't you talk back to me. You sit that there. Everything needs to be perfect for me. And you see it's a man in he has a top hat, a bow tie, a little like tux jacket that's like glittery, and a cane. And he goes, and he has the most beautiful tap dancing shoes you've ever seen in your entire life. And he says, my tap dancing routine must be perfect for this fucking New Jersey Mountain Honey Festival. This is the cream of the crop. This is where stars are born. And he goes, move it the fuck over there. And he's yelling at people. And they're like, ugh. And they're all trying to kind of like, avoid him.
All right, I'm gonna just hang back there for a moment. So.
Okay, so you hang back. So Ursinus Borgnine is kind of hanging backstage, sort of, getting the feel, getting the vibe of the place. Is there anything any of you guys want to do in the meantime? You can go to the stores, you can go to the stalls, you can talk to the mayor, you can talk to each other.
Well, you can't talk to him. You can try.
You could fly. I don't know.
Are there any teenagers that look like they're like hanging out behind a building getting drunk or something like that? Because I feel like the level of competency I have with speaking will match theirs.
Yes. So first of all, what you have is there is one of the owners of the cars at the quote unquote car show is hanging out with a couple of his buddies. They came out to support him with his car, and they're like, "It's all right, man. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Your car's really fucking cool." He's like, "Oh, everybody keeps teasing me about it." Like, "Oh man, it's really cool. It's really cool." And they are all the way to the left, and they're hanging out by a bright red 2017 Mini Coupe S Cabrio, which is a type of Mini Cooper. While the rest of the cars are like really badass looking, there's that car, which is like still a cool car, but not by, I guess this town's standard. So he seems to have been getting picked on a little bit. And he's just big dude, bro. And his friends are like, do you want to like, I don't know, you want to like break into the spook house? The spooky house? That makes you feel better? You want to throw rocks in the windows? He's like, no, I don't know. And he almost can't even understand what the fuck they're saying at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go over there and communicate with people?
I just kind of like, wander over and like, spooky houses goes rock.
Okay, so you go over and go, spooky house, and they yes,
rock.
You want to go to the spooky house? And you pick up a rock and throw it? Is that what you just did?
Yeah, I do.
You go
Yeah.
rock and throw the rock, and it just into the woods. And they're like, ah! I'm like, yeah. And another one picks up the rock, goes, yeah, and throws it. Another one throws it, and a police officer nearby turns around and goes, hey, knock it the fuck off! And they're like, oh shit, and they stop.
I go belligerent on this cop. Leave me alone. We're not doing anything.
Okay. I want you to go ahead and. Does anyone want to hold on before I do this? Does anyone want to step in to this situation and try to alleviate this catastrophe about to happen?
If by alleviate you mean tackle
not
and
murder.
maul police officers.
Does that alleviate?
Yes.
I mean, am I able to talk to the cop? Am I able to just kind of approach the cop, me and my
You're the
husband,
face.
and just kind of pat him on the shoulder or something? No.
So you go over and begin to bap the cop in an attempt to soothe his anger at a belligerent drunk who is damaging property.
This is a bad idea.
Miss Ursa Behrman, I would like you to roll 2d6 please, and tell me if it is. I don't fucking know. Tell me if it is above or below your criminal score. The lowest score. It's got to be the lowest score of the 2d6.
For sure, 2d6. I got a 5 and a 6, and both of my things were 3.
So you go over and start. Get the fuck off! And he takes the shit out of you. And he's just.
Don't taser,
He
bro.
pulls out a second taser and tases you.
No,
And he's
don't
he
tase
feels-
me.
Now,
Yeah.
in this moment, this cop feels like an action hero because he's like double gunning, and he's like, ha ha, yeah, and he's just tasing the shit out of these two bears. So
I
while
think we
that's
need to an
happening,
intervention.
you're like on the ground. He eventually turns the tasers off and goes and pulls them out, and he presses a button, and the little wires go back into his guns, which don't happen, but I'm gonna say that happens. You have to like do a whole thing. But he rips them up and he spins them around, puts them back in his holsters. It goes, now simmer down now, and then just starts walking bow-legged back around the town
Like as he's
like a sheriff. Yes,
as he like
yes.
holsters his gun, Karen's just gonna come flying out of nowhere at his face.
Okay,
I have a question about the.
roll
I have a
2d.
question about the dosage level of tasers on a big old panda bear.
Oh, so when you guys hit the ground, I don't know. Instead of locking all of your muscles, it was more just like being mildly electrocuted constantly. It was like,
Okay.
and it just really fucking hurt.
Okay.
But you know, you're not like tough bears. You're just sort of silly crime bears. So roll 2 of those 2d6, Michi. Tell me what you get.
I got a 2 and a 3.
Okay, and what is your bear score right now?
3.
Okay, then that is 2 successes. You, as he now simmer down now. He goes running, planning through the front door of the spooky house and runs into the haunted house.
She don't
The
care.
door opens and then shuts right behind it.
Oh, come on.
And as you he goes and hits the ground and is unconscious as you kind of stand up. And you're in a very spooky house, and you look towards the front door, and the front door isn't there. Instead, it's just a wall. And you hear, hey, and you turn around, and there's sort of just this ghost, probably about your height, pure bald head, just smooth little wispy ghost body. You kind of like teardrop shaped wispy ghost body. He looks at you and he's like, "Fuck you doing in my house?"
Killing a cop?
He looks around and goes, "I don't think he's dead." And the cop's ghost stands up and he goes, "Son of a bitch! Is this what happens? Is this what happens? Did you just kill me?
Good dark.
You're not even a real gentleman. You're a honey badger in a gentleman's hat. You were trying to trick me."
Can I maul the ghosts?
You swipe your claws and it doesn't go through. He goes, "Ha! I'm not corporeal anymore." And he goes and floats through the ceiling, just completely flipping you the birds as it flies off. And the other ghost looks and goes, well, he got out of my house. Now you gotta get out of my house, dick. You know who I am? You know whose house you just fucking came into?
Do you have any honey?
No, I don't have any honey. No, I don't have any honey, fuckhead. You need to leave my house. You just came into the house.
Wait.
You just came into the house of Cashburn, the unfriendly ghost motherfucker, and you need to get stepped out. And he points towards the wall that you can't, there's no door to.
Meanwhile, on the other side, can I be trying to go through the door?
So you go over to the door and roll 2d6.
I'm gonna collect myself off the floor and maybe.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Ursinus Borgnine, I imagine you're just watching as the two are brushing themselves off and Baroness starts pounding the wall of this door. Go ahead, what'd you get?
2 5s.
This got out of hand. What's your bear?
4.
Okay, so you go. Wooden door, old shitty wooden door, not a problem. Mother! And you think to yourself, all right, that must have been, some kind of. So roll again. Let's see what you get. Must have been a fluke. You need 2 successes. By the way.
I rolled a 5 and a 6.
Okay, so you go. Okay, all right. You're almost embarrassed, and some of the drunk kids who were standing there are like, ha 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 ha, and you look at them and they go, just stop talking, and you and you strap your little, you put the gremlin under your arm, you're like, okay, and you go and ram the door, and you're like, fuck, as you just get a big nice knot on your forehead, son of a bitch, and Karen from outside you can hear on the door, on the wall. And he goes, great, now you got more assholes trying to break down my door. Thanks a lot.
If I could get out of the door, they wouldn't break the door down. But I can't get out of the door because you're an asshole.
You're an asshole.
You're an asshole.
Floating away, flipping the birds from behind. This is floating away. And he goes away. Out of a nearby closet, another ghost comes out. A small, thinner one with a nice big nose and a big ghost mustache. I think he has a mustache. My God, I can't remember. But he starts floating over towards you, and he goes, excuse me, but can you help me?
What are you?
Oh God, I know what this is.
I've been trapped in here. I came in here to get rid of the ghost, and now I die in here, and I cannot get rid of the ghost. If you get rid of the Cashburn, the unfriendly ghost, I can finally be free.
How do I get rid of the ghost? He's an
Follow
asshole.
me! And he starts floating back towards that closet. And he goes through the closet door, and you following him kind of walk into the closet door, and you're like, all right, doors are a thing. And so you open the closet door, and you see within the closet door, there is a small red vacuum with a little yellow light on the top. And it says on the side, the Poltergust 3000. And he goes, this is my vacuum, and you gotta suck up with the ghosts. Otherwise, I am fucked. I cannot leave. Have you seen? There is no door. This place sucks.
I'm gonna strap on the vacuum and go ghost hunting.
So you strap on the vacuum. What's everybody else doing? What's everybody else doing? We'll come back to this.
Get back to it.
I don't have a follow-up to that.
You guys stand up. Baroness, you can't get through this door. And the mayor comes and walks up to you guys and goes, excuse me, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you, stop that. What are you doing? Stop hitting that door.
Friend inside.
Okay. I guess because I'm the one with the flower crown, I'm just gonna, very politely wave and go try to make a gesture and be like, sorry, my mistake.
Okay, roll 2d6 for face.
2d6 for
Yeah, 2d6. Make sure it's lower than your criminal level.
Okay. I rolled a 2 and a... No, wait. Yeah, a 2 and a 1.
And your criminal... Okay, that succeeds.
And they're both still at 3.
So as she watches you assault this building, kind of get into a scrap with a cop, assault this building, you come over and you got a 2 and a 3, or a 1 and a 3?
I guess
1
so.
and 2. You got 2 successes, I'm pretty sure, so you crushed it. So you just sort of wave and she goes, Oh my goodness, Your Majesty! I didn't know that it was you. It's a pleasure to have you here at our festival. Anything you need. I mean, we have all sorts of games and things, and there's all kinds of honeys, rare honeys, Bavarian honeys for you to try. Honeys of a German, Georgian taste. I don't know what the fuck. People like wine talk, but for honeys. If there's anything I can get for you, please let me know.
Honey. Honey.
Oh, that's excellent. Here, let me take it. And she starts guiding you now. You're being led. Do you guys go with? Because this is like, you got an in or what?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys start following. Ursinus Borgnine, what are you doing at the stage?
I'm behind the stage, like on the soundboard, completely asleep.
I thought you had. Okay, so you are completely asleep, and there's a very disgruntled-looking man in a fabulous sort of tux and top hat and cane, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And it cuts back to you guys being led by the mayor. And as you guys are being led by the mayor, she leads you towards the bakery, the Oneater Bakery. And as she approaches, she goes, "This is our Oneater Bakery. It's our very famous bakery." And the baker, who he has like tables set up with all these different honey kind of things and all kinds of honeys to try, but honey baked bread, honey cakes, honey cookies, honey baked goods. And he's like, "No, I told you, it's not the Oneater, it's the Wonder Bread Bakery. I don't know why everyone keeps saying that." And he's the most handsome man like you've ever. You're not like into humans because you're bears probably, but like this is a very handsome human man. Like just like almost freakish, almost creepy. How beautiful his face is.
Is he considered a bear?
Oh my God, that was. He's not like grizzled and gruff. He's more just like his name is Chad McHandsome. So if that kind of spell, he's like a Ken doll like face. You know what I'm saying? He's more like that. So Chad McHandsome with his large assortment of things, and they go, go ahead and try anything you'd like. One item each, so you guys can have one free like lump of honey, and if you eat honey, it puts another point into bear. So if you want to build your bear up so you can do bear stuff, then by all means, and it'll take a point away from criminal. But if you guys don't want that, you don't need to. Or you can store it in your hat of holding for later, or your bear pocket.
I legit forgot that I had a hat of holding.
You do. Every once in a while, it tries to swallow your entire head, and you keep stop and like pushing it back up.
Only allowed if you're gonna cuddle.
It's gonna give you a hickey.
You hear this constant. If you do let it kind of slip past your ears, you hear the ever swirling vacantness of the void, and you kind of don't like it. You gotta push it back up. So
this is the worst friend.
So the bakery has any of this stuff. This is basically your recharge for giving yourself some bear points again, if you'd like. Or would you like to ask the mayor for anything, or Chad McHandsome?
Can we go to a criminal flashback real quick?
Yes, you may, Ursinus Borgnine.
Alright, so we're back at the thing, and, oh my God, the Baroness keeps putting herself in places to knock people out. And then, like, pause her hand, and I go, "Remember, you can't just knock out the mayor. We need her to tell us where or maybe she has it on her phone or something, where the vault is. With that bodyguard, he could go." And I'm doing this to kind of give the Baroness a chance to be more criminal.
Okay. Well, knocking someone out would probably just be bear.
I know, but I'm well. How would I get the Baroness to be more criminal? Well, she'd be the muscle.
That would be to get her more criminal. But I'm just saying that action of just like boom, that's probably gonna be bear. Unless you do it like with like a baseball bat or something, then it would be probably criminal. I don't know. It's up to you. Well, if you want to take the point into criminal, by all means, it doesn't matter. This system is nonsense. But I like that as an opener to almost like, it's like you went into Ursinus' dream where he was remembering this, and then it comes out of Baroness's, and you see Baroness like, "Oh, I remember that." and you're standing there next to the bodyguard. You kind of look over, and the bodyguard's sitting there, and you're holding this nasty gremlin. It's like, and just staring at him, and he's just sort of looking off. Copy. And you know he's saying copy to no one, and it pisses you off.
When we come back to that, I think what happens is I remember that, and then I set the gremlin down. Is there like a metal chair at the baker's stand?
Yes.
I pick that up and I fold it, and then hit the bodyguard.
Jesus. So you pick it up, you fold it, and then you hit the bodyguard? Is that your... Okay, roll 2d6. You know what? Roll 3d6 because the flashback led right into this. Smooth transition. Let's do it.
I also wanted to info dump at everyone.
I rolled 3 3s.
Okay.
And I did push my criminal back up to 3 with the flashback.
Okay, yeah. And your bear's above 3, I believe, right? Your bear's 3?
Yes. They're both
okay.
3.
So, and you rolled 3 3s?
Yes.
That's almost freakish. It's like... it's like demonic. You pick up, so you kind of look at him, you set the gremlin down.
Only halfway demonic.
And as you set the gremlin down, okay? And he immediately, and you hear him kind of, and you're like, whatever. And you pick up this chair, calmly folded. And the guy goes, copy, and just eats shit into his face as he hits the snow. The mayor goes, what the fuck did your bodyguard do to my bodyguard? And she looks to you, Leona, Ursa Behrman. What the fuck is that? Gary, get up! And he's just, and he just got a coughs of blood as you destroyed his teeth and his nose. Oh fuck! As he's just on the ground.
Blame?
This is very unprofessional. I'm very annoyed. Put a point into criminal because the plan went off without a hitch.
Okay, putting 1 point into criminal.
No, not you.
Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah, Baroness, because Baroness just like totally took the reins of the... Would you care to explain yourself?
It was an accident. I don't know.
An accident. Roll 2d6 to see if you can suppress this. You're gonna have to roll 2 successes.
2d6s. Okay.
That's right.
I rolled a 6 and a 1.
Absolutely not. 6 is not a success. And she goes, you know, this is just unacceptable behavior. This is ridiculous. I'm putting all of you in timeout. unless you shut up. Unless you think that you can.
Everyone's so mean to me.
Unless you think that you can try to turn this around by having the big man forgive you, and she points to Santa Claus. If you tell him everything you did wrong, maybe I can forgive you and you can carry on with this. This is our custom here in Himalayan Hamlet in the mysterious mountains of New Jersey. Whenever we do dirty deeds, we go and speak to Santa and ask
dirty
him for
deeds
forgiveness.
in the
This is
long years ago.
Done cheap, done dirt cheap. But I like to say done dirty.
I'm wondering if this is a good time to wave the wand and maybe just get the nerd, like, I don't know, some sort of magic trick to be like, there, Mayor, you forget everything that just happened. You forget
Let me ask you something.
guardian exists, yes.
Let me ask you something. You want to use the wand on the mayor? Is that what you're saying? I'm clarifying this.
Yeah, I think so.
That's an excellent idea. Let's go from there and go to someone else. Now we'll get to you, Karen, in a minute because that's a fascinating storyline. I want to see where that goes. But let's go to Kevin real quick. Ursinus Borgnine, you wake up to an unpleasant man poking you with his cane and saying, "Get up! Get up! What are you doing?"
I poke him with my cane.
You said, stop it! No. You are at my stage. You are at my backstage. You are trying to steal my shop. And he's poking you as you just poking each other with canes. And then you get up off the thing and you're both staring at each other.
I'm gonna knock him out.
With your cane?
Yes. No,
All right.
with my paw. I'm just gonna bear him. Like.
All right. You're what are you, a polar bear?
Yep.
It's really good at swimming, so that's not quite. I guess just roll 1d6 and see if you can knock him out. Because you're not the
I rolled a 4, and my bear is 4.
That works. So he sits up and goes, now, will you care to explain how you and you hit him. He doesn't go down right away. He goes boom.
Alright, and then I'm gonna take off his tie.
You take off his ties, he's just sort of dazed. You take it off.
And I put my tie and I put it on me.
Put it on you.
And then I'm gonna put the mystery box on his head.
You flip it around, the potato falls out, and you pick the mystery box, slide it onto his head.
Push him out into the snow.
And you push him out, and he just sort of stands there, and then falls over, and just with the box crushed, and he is just laying in the snow. And somebody, a cat walks over, looks at it, and then pees on the box, and then keeps walking.
Who knows? Maybe this is all part of a polar bear mating ritual we don't know about. Like, maybe this is a compliment.
Suddenly, from a hill comes a female polar bear. Like, I like the cut of that jib. I like that business. Here I come. No, that's not. So
these are real facts, you guys.
Would you care to go anywhere or sign us to board 9 on your?
Do I move a point to criminal because things are going well for me?
Yes, that worked perfectly.
All right.
That went just the way you wanted, and now you have more of a disguise.
I'm going to hang backstage in case I need to take control of the town lights, or if I need to do a tap dance number.
Okay. Well, you do see that your friends are in a bit of a pickle as you hear over your earpiece "calm," which I guess you have now. Because I think that it makes sense because you're in a heist. So you can hear that the Baroness just knocked the shit out of the mayor's bodyguard, and the mayor is sending all of your friends to timeout unless they can go and plead their sins to Santa Claus to have them
timeout a special square next to the Santa Claus, like next to the tree.
No, I think it's jail. I didn't account for you just knocking the shit out of someone in broad daylight, so I didn't.
You should have, though.
And the policeman is already dead, and his
What's
soul
amazing
left,
is that it wasn't Michi who did it.
Yeah, no, well, it was the muscle. So Ursinus, with knowing that,
steal a phone.
You're gonna go steal a phone?
Oh, I kind of thought someone would grab the mayor's phone.
I tried that. It didn't work.
Yeah. Beaten with umbrellas, if you remember. So is there anywhere that you want to go or anything you want to do? Or do you just want to hang back?
I will hang back for one more scene, and if things go south, I'm going to do a big tap dance production number.
Okay.
Obvious solution.
As you stand there and you're kind of waiting, you actually, you're good. All right, you'll stay there. That's fine. Karen, you strap on this vacuum and you're like, all right, gotta do what you gotta do. You're here, sometimes a heist goes wrong, you end up trapped in a haunted house, you gotta kill an asshole ghost. It is what it is. You're standing in the middle of his foyer. How do you attract him to yourself? Because he is off in his mansion now.
Well, first, I'm gonna grab the stun guns from the cop.
Okay, you
put them in my bear pockets.
You have sweet, dope. Do you just want to wear his utility belt?
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, okay. You have a little cop's utility belt, and you got to tighten it real tight because you're a little honey badger, and you got this vacuum on you. This got out of hand. So how are you attracting Cashburn, the unfriendly ghosts, to yourself?
Well, I guess I'm just gonna stand in the middle of the room and scream and hope that annoys him enough to come back.
Okay, so you stand in the middle of the room and just scream, and then you stop and you hear way off in the house. Shut the fuck up!
No!
Shut the fuck up!
No!
Motherfucker! Hold on! And you hear shit move, get clanged around, and he comes out and it looks like he was eating dinner, and he has a little ghost bib. It says I'm the best on it, and he takes it off and throws it away. And he put a little A. It says beast. I'm the beast. And he throws it down and he comes down and he goes, what the fuck are you doing? Did I tell you to get the fuck out of my house? You've been screaming and shit in the middle of my house?
The Karen is just gonna point this ghost vacuum at him and just yell housekeeping and turn it on.
He goes, what the fuck is that? And, oh, shit. Oh, that Italian motherfucker could fall. And his head goes in first. And you just suck him in. He goes, motherfucker.
Oh, that was such a good one-liner. Oh my god.
And then as you see, as you're kind of just turning it on, you kind of vacuum the floor a little bit, and it is very dusty. You are genuinely cleaning the floor. And as you do, the machine turns off and take it off, and out from the closet comes the little ghost with the bigger nose and the mustache. He comes out and goes, oh, thank you so much. I can finally rest in peace. And he.
Okay, but how do I get out of here?
I don't know. And he flies away, and you're like, shit. But you turn around, and the door is back. The house has shifted back to its original station. It's back to its dilapidated state. You can hear the sounds of outside. The world has come back to the area. So, do you leave the house?
Yes.
Okay, so you walk out of the house, all pissed off. You have this. Do you still have the stupid vacuum on your back? It's for sucking up ghosts. Okay, so I don't think there's any. That's fine. So you come out, and as you walk out of the thing, you're like, and you're kind of surveying the scene, and you see that Ursinus Borgnine push out a man with a box on his head. The man falls down. You look over to the left, just a bit down the way, and you see Baroness standing over the unconscious body of one of the guards with a bent chair, and she just kind of throws it to the ground and raises her hands like, I did it. and you see the gremlin shifting around viciously in the cage, and you see Ursa Behrman pleading with the mayor, who's like noting at her and pointing to Santa. And as you look over towards, you see Santa, and then you see next to you another ghost, and it's the man who was drinking, who you tore the shit out of his face. And he goes, hey, aren't you the little shit that... Did you kill me, you little bastard?
No.
Listen, I had a good thing
didn't kill
going.
you. You bled out on your own. That's not my fault.
Can't control the current of my blood. You did that to me.
I'm gonna turn the vacuum on.
You suck him into the vacuum, and he goes. You just hear him scream as he goes inside, and then you can hear inside the tank, "Hey, fuck you, get out of here! No, fuck you, fuck you!" And then they start fighting, and you're just like, nice. And as you start making your way, you kind of start walking back into town, and you look, and you can see that there is at this. You see someone trying to get your attention. And you look over, and it appears to be through the window of a store. You see someone waving at you from inside one of the stores. You can choose to go there. You can choose to go to one of your compatriots, or wherever you want to go. I'm not your boss. Do whatever you want.
Oh God. We're gonna go over and see what this person wants, because clearly they're in trouble.
So as you start walking towards Big Bill's Butter Bodega, as the man is trying to get your attention, and as you start approaching, he runs from the window and stands behind the counter, and so you walk in, and you push open the door, and he goes, I'm so glad you're here. The sign on the door says, "For all your buttery needs," and you can see as you enter the store, it's a store full of these refrigerated racks lined with butters and different kinds of butters. And the man behind the counter is just kind of staring directly at you excitedly. He goes, I'm Norman, and well, I'm just so glad you're here. I think me and you have a mutual enemy in this town, or at least a mutual goal. And then we go back to the rest of our friends. Do you guys go to Santa to plead your sins? Otherwise, you're going to have to go to timeout.
We were gonna wave the wand.
Oh, shit, you're right. I totally... Okay, here I go. I'm going to go ahead and roll a d6.
From one really well-executed dramatic moment to another.
Shit. So, low is bad, or low is good, high is bad. That's a 1. Okay, so that's nuts. That's good. So you go, boop, and she goes, no, that's ridiculous. You can't just... I forgot what we were talking about.
Honey!
Where am I?
Honey!
Who are you?
Honey,
Honey!
danger.
Honey!
us protect.
Please.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm fucking terrified right now. Roll 2d6 to like try to say what you're saying and see. You erased her memory. She doesn't know what's going on, who she is, where she is,
or where the honey is.
or where the honey is.
I rolled a 3 and a 4.
Okay, not bad. Honey, I think I remember something. I don't know. There's an information booth. Maybe we can go talk to them. Maybe they'll know. I don't think I remember anymore.
There. That's bad.
Oh dear! And she starts walking towards the information booth. As you
Okay.
have... Yes.
Can I
So the man
unleash?
is knocked out.
Can I unleash the gremlin?
So you mean, do you want to unleash the 3 gremlins? Because when you put the gremlin in the snow, the gremlin started devouring the snow and laughing. And now you see that there are 3 gremlins slowly breaking the bars and just and you see as they're doing this, their backs are bubbling with more gremlins. As you remember, that's how they...
I want to point the cage back towards town and release the gremlins.
So you just pick it up, point it. They know what you're doing. They stop trying to break out and they just... And as you grab the latch, you hear, yes, and you open it. And they and launch out, and they just start rolling in the snow. They kind of tuck and roll in the snow, getting it all over themselves and run. And you see more popping off of their backs, growing quickly into more gremlins as they start running, and they just start spreading out. There's few first, maybe about 5, 6. Then they disappear into the town. We'll come back to that in a minute. Because it takes...
God, this town is gonna...
But there they go. Into the fucking town as you guys...
Just so you know, my next plan is to then pick up the mayor and walk off with her.
Okay, well, I think the mayor's walking towards the information booth, and they're walking with her. So you just start walking towards the mayor. You're gonna scoop her. You just gonna scoop her up.
Yep.
Okay, so as you walk behind her, you just whoop. She goes, whoop. Okay, all right then. Well, this is neat. Do you guys want to keep going to the information booth? Because that's where she was going to go for information about the honey. Or do you want to go and bring her somewhere else?
Well, I think I would kind of pause and ask Baroness and be like, Baroness, what are you doing? Don't we need her?
I forgot you had an accent.
I know, so did I for a minute, okay?
Please don't keep track of.
Okay, all right.
Baroness, don't we need her?
That's why I'm taking her with.
Taking her with where?
Wherever we go.
Oh, okay.
You do see that Ernest will. Sorry.
Are we heading that way?
Talking to you, Baroness.
Yes, we may need to go somewhere else, though.
Okay, but should we keep going to the information booth for now?
Sure. That's what we're doing.
So Seymour just sort of picked up the mayor with no real goal in mind. This is my job. Release punch security guard. Release gremlins. Pick up mayor. Dun dun dun. Next question mark.
Check.
Off we go. Baroness. Getting the job done.
I think we're murdering Leona here. Leona's dying.
Oh, so like the rest of the town, then.
Yeah.
As you, Ursinus Borgnine, you stand backstage. It doesn't, you see your friends go by. They have the mayor under Baroness's arm as they're walking. The people in town are like, neat! They think it's some sort of show. Because apparently this town is dumb as hell. And as they're walking past, looks like they're not going to really need you for any kind of big tap dancing number, unless you really want a big tap dancing number and you want to do a big tap dancing number.
Oh my God! Please do a
If
big
you don't,
tap
if you
dancing.
don't, and you want to save it for later, you can.
I will save it.
So you take the mayor over to the info station. Ursinus Borgnine, would you like to follow them, rejoin the group, or stay where you're at?
I'm gonna join the group, and I'm just gonna walk up to the mayor and like pull the phone out of her pocket
She's sort of bouncing as Baroness is walking her like sideways. Hello, and you pull the phone out of her pocket, and it's like just a smartphone. Do anything with it?
Can I hack her phone?
Yes, you may. I'm just.
How did you steal that?
Um,
You do this, man.
Oh man.
experience. All right, I rolled a 2 and a 3 on a 3.
Excellent. That's 2 successes. So boom, you are in her phone. You know her bank account. You know her whole life right now.
I'm looking for Vault.
Okay. You find in her phone all kinds of stuff. You find nothing about the vault in her phone. However, you do find what appears to be some sort of like alert on her phone that said weight imbalance, and you're not really sure what that means. But you do, as you're flipping through. Give me 2 seconds.
Do you find any naughty pictures? That's what we
you do find naughty pictures, but not of her. You find them of Chad McHandsome. And you're like, oh, there was a thing going on over there. Okay. But you do find just under the imbalance thing, you do find a code that's just 4893. Okay.
Chad
Okay.
McHandsome's
All right.
birthday.
Gotcha. So you're not sure what that goes to just yet, but you do have a code. Let's go back to Karen. Karen, you're standing in the Big Bill's Butter Bodega, and this man Norman is standing there, and he goes, "Now, if you agree with me, then I think we can come to some sort of arrangement. You see, I have a feeling. Well, Bill told me that you guys are thieves. He watched your group come into town. Some grizzled hard thieves. Is that correct?"
Ah!
Oh God, Jesus. Okay. As there's still blood probably on your fangs from biting the shit out of people's faces. Oh, okie dokie. Well, here's the thing. Sorry, I'm not as tough as Bill. We have a trade for you. If you agree to take all the fucking honey out of this town, we'll help you. I can give you something for free from this store, a special item that can help you along your way. What do you say? Excellent. Now you'll make sure you steal all the butter, right? Because our plan is, if all the butter leaves the town and they don't get there, they're not able to pass out the rations at the end of the festival, and nobody gets their ration of honey, then everyone will buy butter instead, because everyone knows butter is the best substitute for honey. You put butter in your tea if you want to, cure your sore throat. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? You look like you know exactly what I mean. I do it all the time, and I'm very sick. I'm very ill because I don't think it's good for me, but Bill says I have to. So here's the thing. You agree to it. That's great. I'm going to give you something for free. One item for free. Okie dokie. So here's what you're going to do. I want you to go ahead and roll 1d6 and tell me what you get.
Oh no.
Spoiler alert, it's a buttered potato.
That's a 5.
5. Okay. You get butter shoes. So your butter shoes, these shoes are made of 100% strong butter. Your ability now is that you can grind any rail. Dope. That's what it says. So you take that and you go ahead and use it to steal all that honey. Remember, you can grind any rail. It's very impressive. You don't even have to roll for it. You can just grind rails all day. Here you go. And he gives you these disgusting slippery shoes.
Just gonna take the shoes and walk out.
Okay, you take the shoes and walk out. But now you can grind any rail with those shoes. So that's a good item. So you guys as you walk out, you see the rest of your group walking up to the info booth. Would you like to join them with your new shoes, vacuum, and Jesus, you have all kinds of items. and 2 taser guns.
She's got a gun.
Not an adventure, okay?
God, like the entire
Oh, you have his belt. You have his like his 9mm or do they use 40s now? 45. You have a gun. You have a literal gun. You also have pepper spray and a baton.
Probably a nightstick. Yeah.
Actually, Baroness, as you see her walk out, you're like, oh sweet. Oh, so she's got a nightstick, and that's pretty cool. Like, I want that stuff. Like, that's neat. I like that. So you guys reach the information booth, and sitting at this kind of broken down, shitty information booth is this very large man, big guy. Hard to tell if it's like fat or muscle because his face looks like kind of strong, and he's sitting there just sort of a big square sort of man in a large tan overcoat that sort of hides his mass. And on his big kind of rough, big chiseled face, he's got sort of a weird scar that curls up. He's got sort of slicked back hair, and he just sits there like this. Hello. And it just says information and advice on over top of him.
Oh no.
Are you here for one of the two? And he points to those.
Information.
Information. Excellent, excellent. I can do that. And might I say, your disguises are excellent. Now,
How does he know? How does he know?
How could he see through them?
He points to information. And he goes, now then, if I'm going to give you information, and he looks only to you, Jane. What the fuck was your bear's name?
Chris Bearsworth.
Chris Bearsworth. He looks to you, Chris Bearsworth, and he goes, only to you. He's going to give you this piece of information. I need you to simply say that you agree. Do you agree?
I agree.
Excellent. Excellent.
He's
Now
a
then.
dum-dum. Obviously he would.
Let's get to the information. So, your first information. The man by the lake has a great secret. That is all.
Aliens.
No. What the fuck? No. There aren't aliens. That's stupid. He was crazy pants. But he did have a great secret, but you scared the piss out of him.
Is this,
Anywho.
wait, I'm sorry. Is this the booth where the DM tells us all the hooks that we didn't go into?
I mean, maybe, but well, it's not. It's the salesman telling you. That will be 1 drop of your blood, please. And he takes a small vial. You can give a drop now, or I take it all later.
What?
That was the deal that you agreed to. Blood, please.
Or can it
He
be
shakes the
anybody's
vial.
blood?
He takes your hand, and from his sleeve comes like a small blade. He goes, and he takes a drop of your blood. Thank you, and corks it and puts it in his pocket. Next.
This place ain't all it seems like.
Would you like information about something specific? You need only to ask. Otherwise, I'll just tell you random shit. Duh.
I have a specific question.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some honey. I believe there's a big bunch of honey somewhere.
Oh, there is vast amounts.
Special honey. The special honey.
The special honey.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are inquiring about the vault.
Yes.
Yes, the honey hoard.
Yes.
Yes. I need you only to say that you agree.
I agree.
Alrighty then. And he takes a small glass vial and puts it there, but he doesn't offer it to you yet. And he says, the mayor keeps the location of the hoard close to her heart. Blood, please. And he shoots the blood.
Oh.
And it's very quick. And he takes a drop of the blood. Thank you.
I can rip her heart out.
Your claws extend. Baroness, you're still holding her, and the mayor goes, oh my goodness. is this what this is? And she reaches into her breast pocket of her coat and pulls out a small piece of paper.
I'll grab it out.
I
of her
steal
hand.
it.
Okay.
Okay, Chris Hemsworth says that out loud. I'll steal it, and he takes it. And you did it. It went off without a hitch. Put a point into criminal, you.
I didn't even have to roll for it.
You did it. Put a point into criminal.
Aww.
Now then, as you take it out, it says that to enter the honey hoard, go to the bank and go through the second vault. The code is 2849. That's it.
All right. Bank.
And she goes, oh, darn. So I think this is where the honey is, guys. Well, she wasn't holding it anymore. She goes, I think that's where the honey is, and points to it. Isn't that neat?
Yes, it's wonderful.
Cool. All right. So where are we going now? You guys are like hang out? You get like
I think we're gonna go to the bank.
Yep.
Okie dokie, bank's closed.
I'm gonna give the mayor a shot of the honey whiskey.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Well, if the bank's closed, we're breaking in, boys and girls and non-binary pals.
I think that's illegal, but I can't remember because I think someone erased everything in my brain.
I will
Maybe
hand her
get
her
rid
phone.
of. Maybe we should get rid of her.
Get rid of me how? What'd you say,
Wait.
Sinus?
I'm gonna hand her the phone with pictures of Chad McHansom.
Ooh, I
Just
like.
Point in his direction.
Done.
As soon as they said something about getting rid of her, I just dropped her on the ground.
As you drop her, after she has it on her phone, she drops and goes, like catches herself, stands up, straightens herself, and goes, got me a man to get, and puts it in her pocket and starts heading towards Chad McHansom. So that's her rest of her day is settled.
Her night's set. Yep.
Yeah, she looks like she knows exactly what she wants to do, so off she goes to rebuild her mind that was shattered.
And apparently now she thinks bear, so.
Oh shit, I forgot. Well, no, none of you said anything. I don't. Oh no, she totally heard everything you said.
How? You speak bear now? Magic.
I forgot.
It smells cool.
Flame the magic wand.
Yeah.
Yeah, the magic wand really changed some things.
Yeah,
When-
it kind
Just
of
wait till later today when she discovers some of the deep recesses in there.
The salesman at the booth says, when people are too close to me, strange things do happen. Good luck at the bank.
yeah, that information's
Let's go.
Goodbye. And he waves his hand and he has between his fingers your guys' blood vials. Goodbye.
I'm gonna let the rest of the group leave,
Okay.
and then I'm going to go. All right. Give me the kid's blood.
Would you like to purchase it?
Yep.
That's excellent. I need a quart of your blood. And he puts out a much bigger,
Like a Chinese food container.
basically.
Can we do this later?
Oh. Say that you agree, or I keep the plan.
I agree.
Very good. Quart of your blood, please. And he just points it out, jingling the glass.
I will throw their two things onto the ground.
Whose two things?
The other two vials.
You don't have it yet. He did not
Okay,
give
then
them to you.
I will do the quart of blood.
Okay, you do the quart of blood. After you do the quart of blood, he goes, that's excellent. I now have the pictures and faces of all those that you love dear. Here's the blood.
Meh, not that many.
Most of them are dead, yes, but yeah, you know.
I'll throw their blood on the ground to destroy the vials.
Rude. Bye.
And then I will,
Yes.
I'm gonna saunter after them a little woozy and grab some honey on the way.
Okay. Take a point into bear because it didn't quite go the way that you wanted it to, and you did lose out in the deal.
No, I'm close to retirement. Those kids need it.
Okay. All right. Fuck it.
No,
All right.
cool. We'll take that point in bear.
All right. Okay.
Because I'm
So-
losing. I'm gonna be angry.
You guys start. Yeah. Right. So you're angrily eating honey.
Grabbing it off of things.
You guys get to the bank, and it is indeed closed and dark. How would you like to get in?
I've got a skill in climbing. Is there anything I can climb?
Yes, you can climb. You can literally just climb the building. if
Can
you
I-
want.
Sometimes places have other doors.
It's true.
I'm gonna point to like where the alarm system would connect to the building and tell Ursa Thurman to climb up there and disable and like knock out that line. Do you want a hacker roll or?
No, I'm gonna say that because of his help, roll 3d6 to get up there and do that.
Okie dokie. 3d6.
And tell me if any of the rolls are below your criminal.
I got a 6, 6, and 5, and my criminal is 3.
Jesus. So you go, no problem. You climb, and then you go and you hack the wrong line, and you get fucking electrocuted and fly off and land on a car, and you're like, because he wasn't done pointing to which one. You were like, yeah, got it, I know. So now you're ready to listen. Do you want to try it again?
Yes.
So you're slightly charged.
I am a washed out black bear, so
You are, and you weren't listening. You've been so excited.
yeah.
You go and try again. Roll 3d6 again, and see if any of them are below a 3. Do you want to have a criminal flashback to try to bump up your criminal before you do it?
Ooh.
Like try to focus and
Remember, Ursa. Remember how it all started at a Fall Out Boy concert, and you were just outside where you heard your name from. She wants to dance like Ursa Thurman. Yes, and you thought, this is my calling.
what's your calling?
Climbing bear. I can do this.
Okay.
I can do this.
So put another point into criminal. Now whatever you roll needs to just be a 4 or lower.
Beautiful.
So roll 3d6.
2, 1, and a 4.
There you go. Excellent. So you I can do this, and hit it, and the sound system is off. Yeah, it feels like you're 600 feet above the ground. She's maybe like 7 feet up. Like she's like as tall as Erstein is when he's just standing, and Baroness. So they're just like, good job. You're just like, I did it. But you did it, and it feels momentous. So now the alarm is off. You can get into the building. You either need to pick lock in, or
Is there any chance I can get a pry bar?
I'll tell you something. You kind of don't need one.
I can
Your
totally
arms are
pick it
sort
with
of-
my claws.
But if you do want one,
I can
yes,
super
there's
do that,
there's one under
definitely.
a car right over there.
Yes, because I'd like one to just use to rip open the door.
Wait, Jay, you are the thief, right?
Yeah.
So it's up to you guys. Rip open the door. How about this? You'll try to rip open one door while Chris Bearsworth is picklocking the other one. So both of you roll your 2d6 for each of your things.
The 3 and a 1.
Okay. So you're like,
2 6s.
I got this, guys. I have this.
Jesus.
I got this. Boom! The Baroness destroys the other door and is already inside the door. You're like, I got it. And Baroness unlocks and opens the door that you're picklocking. And you're like, I got it. And you open it. Yes.
Good job.
Yes.
My criminal was even up at 4, and I still rolled 2 6s.
Yeah. Baroness put a point into criminal, and you, Jane put a point into, or Chris Hemsworth put a point into bear.
Yep.
So you guys are in the bank. It's dark. It's quiet. But in the back room, you can see a faint green glow coming from one of the rooms. But you know that the downstairs to the vault is just straight ahead and down. So would you like to go straight ahead and down, or towards this green light? Towards the vault is down. Towards this green light is unknown. Some mystery there.
What do you all think that is?
Not important.
A security guard. Should we
Might be
check
someone for you to maul.
that out?
Falling. I got all this heavy shit attached to me right now.
Got that big vacuum energy.
Just then a ghost pops in and goes, "Hey, who the fuck are you guys? You shouldn't be here." Nice.
I'm gonna ignore the green light because I'm old and don't care.
So you don't give a shit. You just start going past the green light. And as you go past it, you can hear within there. You hear, yes, all according to plan. Soon you will die, Mr. McHandsome. And you're like, I don't give a shit, and you just keep going down.
I'm like, good luck with that.
As you guys all pass, does anybody give a shit about that, or we just want to ignore it?
No.
I
Fuck
turn to the two muscly carnagey people and say, you guys interested in taking that on? Because I gotta go thief.
Be having fun, it's fine.
Okay. So you guys start heading back downstairs, and as you head downstairs, you find this large vault, and you see vault. It's this huge vault, and then right next to it is an identical vault that just has a big number 2 on it. It's like, oh, okay, that's the second vault. So
We need the second one. He said the
No,
second
wait.
vault.
No. We need them both.
Both.
Let's open them both at the same time.
okay, now you only have a code to one of them.
No,
So
I have 2 different 4-digit numbers.
Yes, there was one that we got earlier off of something.
And if I'm wrong, too bad. So I'm thinking both doors need to be opened at once. So second vault bank was 2849. You put that in.
Okay.
I'll go over to the first door and put in 4893.
Sounds like a plan.
okay, so you guys punch these numbers in at the same time. No roll needed. Both of the doors and start spinning open. And as they both creak open, the second vault leads to a dark staircase that goes down. Very odd. The other one opens and is an average vault. And it looks like it's full of money, gold, all sorts of jewels, and beautiful wealth. All bullshit and useless to you guys. You don't give a shit about that. Where's the honey, damn it? And you see, though, what's odd about this, and actually Chris Bearsworth notices it more than anybody. You notice it first. There's a hole in the top of the vault. Looks like there's like a perfect hole in the top of that vault. Like, huh. Weird.
There's a hole there.
There's holes lots of places.
Yeah.
Holes all over the place. Who cares?
Hole's not honey.
I ain't concerned about that hole.
Then climb up there.
Who, me?
You're
I'm
the
not climbing.
climber.
All right. If you want me to look at it, I will.
You wanted to look at it.
So,
No, Chris. I don't care about the hole. I don't care about the honey.
All you bears.
Am I climbing or not?
All you cubs, I can't keep you straight.
There's a lost
Making me
cause.
more southern. All right.
what are we doing, gang?
Does anybody want me to climb? I don't give 2 fucks about that hole.
Nope.
Okay, I'll go into Vault 2 and down the
Okay.
stairs.
So
I'll
Chris
sneak down the stairs.
Bearsworth, while you guys are talking, goes hee 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 and starts sneaking
Like
cartoonish.
Cartoon sneak.
And as you start sneaking downstairs, some of the bears start passing you, and you're like, shh, and you just slowly make your way. So you make your way all the way down, and the stairs go on for a little while, and they lead down until you reach a large tunnel. The tunnel stretches before you in a downward arc and turns left at the end. You see hundreds of sensor lasers crisscrossing the tunnel, with only one small path amongst them, a single metal rail following the path of the tunnel. There's a couple of skateboards on a rack next to you. Above them is a sign that reads, "Grind or die, ... or leave, I guess. Kind of up to you. I guess you don't need to steal our stuff. You could always just turn around. Hey man, turn your life around. Okay, I'm done. This sign is out of room." And that's what it says above all the skateboards. So,
I put on the butter shoes.
you're goddamn right you do. You don't put on the butter shoes, you kind of on the butter shoes and you on the butter shoes, and you're like, that is just as disgusting as you thought it would be. But you can tell, you can tell that these shoes were made for grinding. And that's just what they'll do. So
Gross.
gross. So
Before we start,
Grinding, popping, locking,
is there no way we can hack this thing? Do we have to? Do we have to do this? We have to.
Ursinus. Okay, Ursinus is asleep, so yes, you must do it.
All right.
Or you could wake me up.
No, it's too late now. You said you were asleep. You get Ernest on one of the skateboards, but on his sleepy body. You start. Are you guys ready to do this? Do you all strap in and grind?
Oh,
Oh,
thought
yeah.
we did one.
You can just do one if you want.
I'll try.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So we got 2 takers. Karen, do you want to test your grinding shoes?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 3 of yous going. All right, so if 3 of you want to venture forth, Baroness, you want to wait to see what happens?
Yeah, I'll stay up top for now.
Okay, so you kind of wait. Oh, are you up at the top of the stairs?
I'll be down
Down there?
right
Okay.
near the rail.
You're right next to Ursinus, as he's just asleep. So you guys start grinding. As you do, I need everybody to roll. Everybody except for Karen. Karen does not need to roll because her shoes are perfect for this, and you're solid. You don't ever need to roll. The other ones need to roll 2 d6s, and you need 2 successes.
2d6.
And it's against criminal.
Oh my god, I did it! I rolled a 1 and a 3!
Okay,
Holy crap!
Ursa.
I rolled a 6 and a 3. That's fine.
Excellent. So as you're grinding, you can see that Karen, as you're grinding, your shoes do it for you, where it'll like dodge the fucking. You'll just spin around the pole, and you're like, holy shit, and it's perfect. You don't touch any of the lasers. Even Chris Hemsworth, as you're going, you're like, wait a minute, I can do this, and you just start like and dodging all these stupid ass lasers. Ursa, you're like, I don't get it. All the lasers are just going through you, and as they do, slots in the walls open, and horrific bees start pouring out, and just attacking the shit out of you as you're going down. And as you're being attacked and swarmed by bees, you're still dodging lasers because you don't know what else is coming. I need you to roll one more time. 2d6 except for Karen. Do it. This is the last one. 2 successes.
So it's a success.
All right, fail.
I got a 2 and a 5. Yeah.
Okay,
So
so as you guys are going through again, Karen's like dodging the bees and the lasers, and you see Alexa.
How did she do that?
Stop! I hate that thing. And as you're dodging all the lasers, you guys just through the lasers more as you're swatting at bees, and real lasers start shooting out of the walls and just slamming into your bodies. You're getting cooked. You're getting wrecked, and then finally, boom! It spits you out at the end. In front of you is a massive vault door. Next to it is a big red button and a keypad. The big red button says deactivate dope ass grind rail. The keypad doesn't say anything. Okay,
Yeah,
so
let's deactivate the.
so you hit it, now covered in bee stings and burns, and you're and all the lasers turn off. You guys can make it down there, no problem. I'm gonna say for the sake of time you do, and now you're all standing in front of the vault.
I'm gonna ride down on a skateboard, but like normally,
Down
Okay.
the stairs.
like not grinding, just like
Okay.
2
Just-
different skateboards.
Jesus. And all right, so you guys reach the end, and now you're at the vault. There is another keypad, and a big vault door. This is it.
Well, I guess I gotta do. This is why you brought me.
The vault door. Okay, so you're gonna do the keypad. Go ahead and give
Let's
me.
look at the vault door real quick.
Okay, the vault door does have its own like spin lock and a like you could pick it if you needed to. I don't know how, but you could. The thief could, and then you could hack, but it would require a teamwork between you two. You guys would have to do it simultaneously.
I'm going to flash back
Excellent.
to both of us, like doing a scale model in the middle of cave. Like, it's 3 feet into the cave is a massive vault door with a keypad next to it. Just
Very
in the
Ocean's
rock.
11.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, ready, go, you failed. Ready, go, you failed. Ready, go, you failed. I'm like, ready, go. And I'm gonna...
And then we'll swim. Okay, both of you, I want you to both take...
I'm gonna bump up the criminal.
Bump up your criminal
Yep.
to 5. Because that was dope. I loved it. Bump your criminal up to 5. That means you're very close.
Okay, we got whiskey.
One
What?
die or 2?
Oh, you're doing 3d6.
Hackers,
You're both doing 3d6 because you're working together.
Oh, awesome.
3, 3, 6 out of 5.
3, 5, 5, which my criminal's now 5, so that's 3 successes.
Yes. So as you guys actually, between the two of you, Ernest, Ursinus is like, oh shit, like, oh fuck, I think I'm kind of slipping. I think I'm kind of messing up. And as Chris Bearsworth is picking the lock, you look over and you go, don't worry, you got it. And Ursinus is like, fuck yeah. And then, boom, and you both hit it at the same time. Boom! The vault opens. And as the vault opens before you, you can see it's completely empty.
No.
Nothing, nothing in the vault except for a long, thin, jammed together stack of bendy straws leads up to a hole very similar to the hole you saw in the first vault.
Oh, Lord.
Going through that hole, and I'm going to maul whoever's on the other end.
Karen goes straight up the hole.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Karen goes straight up the hole. I'm gonna say you all follow. Don't worry, Chris Bearsworth, we're near the end. You all start climbing, and as you get up, you reach a manhole. You push the manhole over, and as you climb up, you realize that you're back in town, and you're standing next to a large like tanker, like oil tanker kind of thing, but it's not filled with oil. It's attached to a straw that was led all the way down there to the vault. They sucked the honey up into this truck, and there it sits, ready to be driven away by your psychotic driver. Taken away at a moment's notice. The engine is on. It's ready to go. And it would be so easy. But you also notice that the town, all the people, not yet, Baroness, all the people are gathering spoons and cups of tea, and they're gathering little crackers, and they have jars and honey jars. And now is the time when Himalaya Hamlet rations out its honey for the winter, and the people have their supply of honey all winter, and they get to enjoy it all winter. And without it, the little children would be so sad. And you kind of look at that and look at the big Christmas tree, and they're all saying goodbye to Santa as they're all starting to make their way towards his truck. And the first in line is a small, weak little boy. And he goes, "Are you all here to pass out the honey?" And he holds his little honey jar. You could leave. You could take it all. Or you could let the town have its honey.
Can I do a personal flashback?
Yes.
I want to flash back to me at that console that I appeared to be sleeping on.
Okay.
Setting
You doing a leverage flashback right now? Are you doing a leverage flashback?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay.
Setting a timer on the electrical system to absolutely explode and blow out the electricity for the town, covering our escape.
So as he goes, will you? You suddenly, you were Cyrus Word, and I go, 3, 2, 1. 1. Boom! And you hear an explosion as all the lights go out. And
well, gentlemen, that's our cue.
You guys all get in the truck?
Yeah.
Get in the truck! You guys are like,
Yep.
ha, 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 and you start driving away.
First, is there a spout somewhere?
What do you mean a spout? For the honey?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna chug a little bit because that plan went really well, and that'll push me to 6 criminals. So I'm just gonna okay, and then get in the truck.
So you, and then you guys get one more point in the bear then, and you're safe. You're now.
By the way, that will push me to 6 criminal.
Yes, it will.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you are. So you jump in the car, and Ursinus, you need this honey for yourself. And as Baroness, you get in the passenger seat as the driver gets in the driver's seat. Hacker's sitting in the back. All you guys are in the cab somehow. You're bears, whatever. And as you start driving away, I'm gonna say, which one of you is the kindest? Which one of you has a heart, to some degree?
Probably, yeah. Us
Okay,
two.
okay, you two. One of you's like, do you think the people are gonna be okay? And Baroness is just silent, smiling, as you start to hear screams coming from the town. Vicious, nasty little roars and laughs as the people are in pitch darkness and they can't see what's attacking them. Small, nasty little teeth.
And snakes. There's snakes too.
Snakes.
Usually they step on a snake.
Right. And now as you get in your car and you're making your escape for Ursinus, oh no, we lost him.
Just at the worst.
I'm gonna tell you what. Because he can't control his character, because he has gone full criminal. This sucks, but it's the end. I think we need to wrap it up. I guess I'll control his character. I don't want to, but I will. Ursinus is playing on the phone, and the car stops. And you guys are like, what the hell's going on? And all of the seatbelts tighten around you and wrap up. And as you guys are all kind of tied up, Ursinus starts pushing you all out of the car onto the snow, tied up by the seatbelts somehow, magically, because this is like G.I. Joe land, I guess. And he pushes you out of these like little metal seatbelts. As you're laying in the snow, you, Chris Bearsworth, look up and you're like, how? And he just
You're
looks
my
down.
mentor.
Looks down and he goes, business. And he gets in the car and he starts driving away. As he's driving away, you see a snake curl over his shoulder. And he goes, what the heck? And you see a car lose control and slam into the trees.
And go into the lake.
No, just slam into the trees. You never really investigated that lake. And that really sucks that he got kicked out at the end because of his internet. But I guess we will end there because I don't want to eat too much time. I don't know where my constraints are. And I know some of us need to go. But yeah, so I think that's a good place to end. What do you guys think?
Oh
The
my.
heist did not go really how you planned.
That was amazing.
I'm glad that you guys had a good time. I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it.
That was amazing.
What happened to Chad McHandsome though?
He
Well,
got
Late.
My guess is Chad McHandsome is being attacked by gremlins. Is most likely what's happening to Chad McHandsome, because the town is infested now. There's probably close to like 700 of them because it's snow, so they're just rolling in constant water. So probably close to the couple thousands within a couple hours.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they waited till there was enough. So even if you left the honey, it's not like it would have mattered. You guys would have been like a job well done.
Hey!
Myers, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Well, I can't. We can't hear you. Myers,
I know. I'm sorry.
hi.
did you at least hear the end?
I'll watch it later. Don't worry about
Okay.
me.
I had to take control of your character, but I hope that you'd be pleased with it. Well
I'm-
then,
Beautiful.
guys, I guess we're going to end it. Nerdy, what's the outro? Could you take the outro?
Yes, I can take over the outro.
Okay.
So,
'cause I think it's more
real
information.
quick, we'll hop down to Kevin because of his internet. You
Just in case
want
my
to
phone does
tell us who you are and where people can find you?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in the Discord. I'm Bisonic on there. I will be in some future projects coming up. Some games in the new year. I don't have too much more going on. But I'll be back here next week. That's it for me.
All right, let's see. Let me look at the overlay. Ursa, you want to tell us who you are and where people can find you?
Yeah, hi. My name is Leona. I am the Lady Bedlam on the Discord and on Twitter and Instagram, so you can find me there. Quick shout out, we're trying to create a People of Color game. If you want to in, please contact me. Yeah.
Okay, Michi, who are you and where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Michi at Michisaurus on Twitter. I am here on Wednesday nights for the next couple of nights, and every other Thursday for the Pokemon game. And starting next week, I will be here on the first and third Tuesdays running an Eclipse Phase campaign.
Alright. Chris Bearsworth, want to tell us who you are and where we can find you?
Yeah, I'm Jane, or Cellar Door 10 on Twitter and the Discord. You can find me. I play over at Roll Control, which you'll see me post when we go live, usually in our Discord if I'm on top of my game that Tuesday. But that's at 7 p.m. Central on Tuesdays. And then I am probably playing in the Shadowrun one. Think it's tomorrow. Yeah. So, but come check me out on Tuesday nights or just hang out on Twitter. Sounds good. This was super fun, by the way. Thanks so much for running this very silly game.
Yeah.
I am glad.
This was amazing.
Yes. Thank you, Evan.
No problem.
My side hurts from laughing.
Good.
Yeah. And speaking of, Evan, you want to tell us who you are and where we can find you?
Yes. I am Evan Jennings 64 on Twitter, and I'm Zombie Love Juice on Instagram and everywhere else. And I have a new YouTube up called Beyond EMH. It's got some of our D&D stuff, some silly stuff on it, more to come. And I work on a thing on YouTube called Everyman Hybrid, which is pretty cool. Got some cool stuff in there. And and I have a Patreon with some of my art and writing and stuff on it. It's also Zombie Love Juice on there. So that's pretty much it. It's all my stuff.
All right. Yeah, and I'm Nudie Teddy. You can find me on Twitter at that, and I am also in the Discord. I am here Thursdays for Shadowrun and for Pokemon. And next week, it's Jingle Bells in-house on City. We'll be playing Masks, a one-shot, little Christmas special. I'm excited for that. I will be running that one. So if you love this, please stop by and check that out. Of course, make sure you follow Welcome Party RPG on Twitter. Here, make sure if you haven't already hit that follow button to do that, so you can catch all the games that we have. We have quite a few. I think we're up to, 11, 12 now? I'm not sure. Yeah, something like that.
Like all the leverage and stuff?
Well, I think just total. Total.
It's a very busy channel.
Throughout the week, we have quite a few games that go.
Currently more coming.
Yes. Yeah, and we are going to raid the Merry Mercs. And everybody have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks
Have a
for
good
watching.
night.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.